Imagine waking up at exactly 3:33 a.m., but not in your bed. Instead, you find yourself standing in front of a mirror that doesn't show your reflection. Instead, it shows countless versions of lives you could have lived. Each reflection tells a different story, makes different choices, experiences different realities. Which one is really you? And more importantly, which one should you be? This question has haunted philosophers, scientists, and dreamers for centuries. And tonight, as you drift between consciousness and sleep, we'll explore the deepest mysteries of existence that could fundamentally change how you view your life, your choices, and your place in the vast tapestry of consciousness. Dr. Elena Rossi, a quantum consciousness researcher at the Institute of Advanced Awareness in Vienna, recently conducted a fascinating experiment. She asked 1,000 participants to spend 1 hour in a room with a specially designed mirror that created a slight temporal delay in reflections. The results were astonishing. 83% of participants reported experiencing what they described as memories from parallel lives, not just imagined scenarios, but vivid, detailed experiences that felt as real as their actual memories. But here's where it gets even more interesting. When participants were asked to distinguish between their actual memories and these mirror memories, their brain scans showed identical patterns of neural activity. It was as if both sets of memories were equally real, equally valid, equally true. This leads us to the fundamental question we'll explore tonight. What if every possible version of your life is actually happening simultaneously? What if every choice you've ever considered, every path you've contemplated, every decision you've faced, what if they all exist, running parallel to your current experience? The ancient Sanskrit text, the Upanishads, speaks of the concept of neti-neti, not this, not that, suggesting that our true nature lies beyond all possible descriptions and limitations. Modern quantum physics, through the many worlds interpretation, suggests something surprisingly similar, that reality constantly branches into infinite possibilities, each as real as the next. Think about the last major decision you made. Perhaps it was changing jobs, moving to a new city, or choosing to end or begin a relationship. Somewhere in some reality, you made a different choice. And that version of you is just as real, just as conscious, just as convinced of their reality as you are of yours. Dr. Rossi's research suggests something even more profound. Through advanced meditation techniques and what she calls quantum consciousness exercises, some participants were able to access information from these parallel lives. They gained insights, learned from experiences they never physically had, and even developed skills they had never practiced, at least not in this reality. But this raises an even more intriguing question. If all possible versions of you exist simultaneously, which one are you experiencing right now? And why this particular version? The answer might lie in what quantum physicists call consciousness collapse. The idea that our awareness somehow chooses or creates the reality we experience from an infinite field of possibilities. As you lie here tonight, drifting towards sleep, consider this. Every moment of uncertainty, every crossroad, every choice you face, they're not just moments of decision, they're windows into infinite possibilities. Each breath you take could be branching reality in countless directions, creating new versions of you, new stories, new understandings. Throughout this journey tonight, we'll explore not just philosophical concepts, but practical ways to tap into this infinite field of possibilities. We'll learn how to access the wisdom of our parallel selves, how to make choices that align with our deepest truths, and how to find peace in the knowledge that somewhere, every version of our story is being told. Let this be your first step into a larger understanding of reality, one where you're not just a single being making linear choices, but a vast field of possibilities constantly unfolding into existence. As we continue, remember, every insight you gain, every understanding you reach, ripples across all versions of you, creating a symphony of consciousness that extends far beyond what we typically think of as reality. Now, let's delve deeper into the next dimension of this extraordinary journey. As we venture deeper into our exploration of consciousness and reality, let's focus on a peculiar phenomenon that Dr. Sarah Chen discovered in her sleep laboratory at the Morpheus Institute. During a groundbreaking study of lucid dreamers, she noticed something unprecedented. Participants who could simultaneously maintain awareness in multiple dream states, each operating under different laws of physics and time. One participant, Marcus Torres, described experiencing 3 distinct realities at once. In one, he was walking through a rain-soaked street in Mumbai. In another, he was solving complex mathematical equations in a library that defied gravity. And in the third, he was having a conversation with his future self. The fascinating part wasn't just the simultaneous awareness. It was that each experience informed and enriched the others. This multidimensional consciousness raises profound questions about the nature of our awareness. We typically think of consciousness as a singular stream, flowing from one moment to the next, like a river. But what if it's more like an ocean, with countless currents flowing in different directions, at different depths, all at once? Consider the last time you were deeply absorbed in thought while driving a familiar route. Your conscious mind might have been exploring memories or planning future events, while another part of your awareness skillfully navigated traffic, responded to road signs, and maintained perfect control of the vehicle. Were you really doing 2 things at once? Or were you experiencing a glimpse of your mind's natural multiplicity? Ancient Buddhist texts speak of mind streams, the idea that consciousness isn't a single entity, but a collection of parallel awareness flowing simultaneously. Modern neuroscience is beginning to catch up to this ancient wisdom. Dr. Chen's research suggests that our brains are constantly processing multiple streams of information in parallel, but our waking consciousness typically only accesses one dominant stream. The implications of this understanding are staggering. If we can learn to access these parallel streams of consciousness deliberately, we might tap into capabilities we never knew we possessed. Think of it like upgrading from a single-core processor to a quantum computer. The potential for processing reality expands exponentially. During her experiments, Dr. Chen discovered that participants who maintained awareness of multiple consciousness streams reported experiencing time differently. Minutes could feel like hours, or hours like minutes. More intriguingly, they described accessing knowledge they couldn't have possibly known, as if tapping into a universal field of information. This phenomenon was particularly evident in the case of Maya Patel, a research participant with no formal music training. During one session, while maintaining awareness across multiple consciousness streams, she found herself able to play complex piano pieces she had never learned. When asked how this was possible, she described experiencing a version of herself who had devoted decades to mastering the piano. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. The effects weren't limited to the experiment sessions. Participants began reporting increased intuition, enhanced problem-solving abilities, and more profound empathy in their daily lives. It was as if exercising their multidimensional consciousness strengthened their overall awareness, like a muscle growing stronger with use. The key to accessing these parallel streams of consciousness, according to Dr. Chen's research, lies in what she calls conscious bandwidth expansion. It begins with acknowledging that our normal waking consciousness is just one of many possible awareness states. Through specific meditation techniques and mindfulness practices, we can gradually expand our capacity to hold multiple awareness streams simultaneously. Think of it like learning to listen to different instruments in an orchestra. At first, you might only hear the melody, but with practice, you can begin to distinguish the violins, the cellos, the woodwinds, all while still appreciating the complete symphony. Your consciousness can learn to do the same, tracking multiple streams of awareness while maintaining coherence and integration. This expanded awareness has practical applications beyond the extraordinary. Imagine being able to fully engage in a conversation while also being aware of the subtle emotional undercurrents, the broader context, and potential future implications, all simultaneously. This isn't about splitting attention. It's about expanding our capacity for integrated awareness. As you continue to relax and drift deeper into this exploration, consider that right now, multiple streams of consciousness are flowing through you. There's the part that's processing these words, the part maintaining your body's countless automatic functions, the part drifting toward sleep, and perhaps many more levels we're only beginning to understand. In our next segment, we'll explore how this multidimensional consciousness relates to the choices we make and the reality we create moment by moment. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that you are far more vast and complex than you might have imagined. Let's delve into what researchers at the Quantum Consciousness Institute call the memory lattice theory. This groundbreaking concept emerged from an unexpected source, the case of Aisha Rahman, a woman who experienced a rare form of temporal amnesia following a meditation retreat in the Himalayan mountains. Unlike typical amnesia cases, Aisha didn't lose her memories. Instead, she gained access to what appeared to be memories from other timelines. More remarkably, she could distinguish between them with perfect clarity, describing them as threads in an infinite tapestry. Each memory thread contained not just events, but complete emotional landscapes, different skills, and even alternative personality traits. Preparing and narrating this theory took us a lot of time, so if you are enjoying it, subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us. Now back to the theory. Dr. James Morrison, the lead researcher studying her case, discovered something extraordinary in Aisha's brain scans. The neural pathways typically associated with memory formation and recall were operating in a quantum state, existing in multiple configurations simultaneously. It was as if her brain had developed the ability to access what theoretical physicists call quantum superposition at a macroscopic level. This discovery led to the development of the memory lattice theory, which suggests that our memories aren't just stored linearly, like files in a computer. Instead, they exist in a vast interconnected network that spans across multiple dimensions of possibility. Every memory we form creates ripples through this lattice, influencing not just our past and future, but also our parallel potential experiences. Consider this. When you remember a significant moment in your life, perhaps your first kiss, or a crucial conversation that changed your path, you're not just recalling a static recording, you're actively engaging with a living network of possibilities. The emotion you feel in remembering isn't just an echo of the past, it's a real-time interaction with the quantum field of consciousness. The implications of this understanding are profound. If our memories exist in this quantum lattice, then every time we recall an experience, we're not just remembering it, we're reshaping it, recontextualizing it, and potentially even accessing variants of that memory from parallel timelines. This explains why two people can remember the same event differently, or why our memories of past events can change over time. Dr. Morrison's team conducted a fascinating experiment with 500 volunteers using advanced meditation techniques combined with quantum-enhanced biofeedback. Participants were guided to access what they called memory nodes, points in their personal history where significant decisions were made. What they found was astounding. Many participants reported being able to experience not just their actual memories, but the emotional and practical outcomes of choices they didn't make. A woman who chose to pursue medicine could suddenly access detailed memories of a life where she became a concert pianist instead. A man who moved to Paris could vividly experience the life he would have lived had he stayed in his hometown. But here's the most intriguing part. These weren't just imaginative exercises. The participants showed measurable changes in their skills, knowledge, and even personality traits after accessing these alternative memory threads. It was as if they were able to download experiences and abilities from their parallel selves. The memory lattice theory suggests that this phenomenon isn't just about accessing different versions of our past. It's about understanding the true nature of consciousness itself. Our awareness isn't confined to a single timeline or a single set of experiences. Instead, it's more like a quantum field, capable of interacting with multiple dimensions of possibility simultaneously. This understanding opens up remarkable possibilities for personal growth and healing. If we can learn to navigate this memory lattice consciously, we might be able to integrate the wisdom and experiences of our parallel selves, leading to a more complete and evolved consciousness. Dr. Morrison's research has shown that even small shifts in how we relate to our memories can have profound effects. When we approach our past not as fixed events, but as dynamic nodes in an infinite network of possibility, we begin to free ourselves from the limitations of linear thinking. As you continue to relax and contemplate these ideas, consider your own memories not as archived footage of past events, but as living portals to infinite possibility. Each memory you hold is connected to countless others across the quantum lattice of consciousness, each offering its own wisdom, its own perspective, its own potential for growth and understanding. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for accessing and navigating this memory lattice consciously. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your memories are far more than just records of the past. They are gateways to infinite dimensions of experience and understanding. The phenomenon known as quantum emotional resonance first came to light through the remarkable experiences of identical twins, Sophia and Isabella Martinez. Despite living on different continents for over a decade, they would simultaneously experience identical emotional states, make the same spontaneous decisions, and even dream the same dreams, all without any conventional form of communication. Dr. Nathaniel Hammond, a pioneer in the field of quantum psychology at the Global Institute of Consciousness Studies, began studying their case in 2022. What he discovered would challenge our fundamental understanding of human emotions and consciousness itself. Using advanced quantum field detectors, he observed that the twins' emotional states created measurable disturbances in the quantum field, disturbances that appeared to transcend space and time. But the truly revolutionary discovery came when Dr. Hammond expanded his study to include non-related individuals. He found that every human being generates what he termed emotional quantum signatures, unique patterns in the quantum field that correspond to our emotional states. These signatures don't just dissipate into the universe, they interact with and influence the emotional fields of others, creating what he calls the global emotional web. Think about a time when you walked into a room and instantly felt the atmosphere, the joy, tension, or sadness present there. According to Hammond's research, you weren't just picking up on subtle social cues. You were literally detecting quantum emotional signatures left by others. These signatures can persist in spaces long after their creators have left, explaining why certain places retain particular feelings or vibes. The study took an even more fascinating turn when researchers discovered that these emotional quantum signatures could be intentionally modulated through a combination of advanced meditation techniques and quantum field awareness exercises. Participants learned to consciously shape their emotional signatures, effectively programming the quantum field with specific emotional frequencies. One participant, Marcus Chen, described the experience. It was like discovering I had been broadcasting on a single radio frequency my entire life and suddenly gaining access to the entire spectrum. I could tune my emotional signature to any frequency I chose, or even broadcast on multiple frequencies simultaneously. The implications of this discovery extend far beyond individual emotional regulation. The research suggests that our emotions aren't just personal experiences. They're quantum events that ripple through the fabric of reality itself. Every feeling we have, every emotional state we experience contributes to a vast, interconnected web of quantum consciousness that spans the entire universe. Dr. Hammond's team conducted a groundbreaking experiment involving 1,000 participants across 5 continents. Using quantum entanglement monitoring devices, they demonstrated that individuals could intentionally synchronize their emotional signatures across vast distances. When participants entered specific emotional states in unison, the combined quantum signatures created what researchers called emotional coherence fields, zones of heightened consciousness and enhanced emotional awareness. These coherence fields had measurable effects on both the participants and their surrounding environment. Plants in these fields showed accelerated growth rates. Electronic devices displayed unusual behavior patterns. Most significantly, people who entered these fields reported experiencing profound shifts in consciousness, including increased empathy, enhanced intuition, and what many described as direct emotional knowing of others' experiences. The research also revealed something unexpected about the nature of emotional healing. Traditional therapy focuses on processing emotions through conscious awareness and verbal expression. But Hammond's work suggests that emotions also operate at a quantum level, where healing can occur instantaneously through what he calls quantum emotional realignment. Consider this. When you experience an emotion, you're not just having a biochemical reaction in your brain. You're creating a quantum signature that becomes part of the universal emotional fabric. This signature can interact with similar signatures from other times, places, and even parallel realities. Through these interactions, emotional healing can occur across multiple dimensions simultaneously. This understanding has led to the development of new therapeutic approaches that work directly with quantum emotional signatures. Practitioners learn to identify and modify destructive emotional patterns at the quantum level, creating lasting change that ripples through all aspects of their lives. As you continue to relax and absorb these concepts, consider that your emotions are not just personal experiences contained within your body. They are quantum events that connect you to a vast web of consciousness. Every feeling you have contributes to the emotional tapestry of the universe itself. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for working with your own quantum emotional signatures. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your emotions are far more powerful and far-reaching than you might have imagined. You're not just feeling your emotions. You're participating in the emotional consciousness of the cosmos itself. At the cutting edge of consciousness, research lies a phenomenon that's revolutionizing our understanding of human potential. Temporal consciousness integration. This breakthrough emerged from an unprecedented study at the Kronos Institute, where researchers discovered that consciousness doesn't just flow linearly through time, it exists in what they call temporal nodes, points where past, present, and future consciousness intersect and interact. The discovery was triggered by the case of Dr. Maya Patel, a quantum physicist who experienced what she described as temporal bleeding during a deep meditation session. For several hours, she found herself simultaneously aware of her past and future states of consciousness. More remarkably, she could actively interact with these different temporal versions of herself, exchanging knowledge, insights, and even skills. Dr. Alexander Volkov, leading the research team at the Kronos Institute, developed a theoretical framework he calls the temporal consciousness matrix. This matrix suggests that our awareness exists not just in the present moment, but across a vast network of interconnected temporal points. Each point represents a state of consciousness from different moments in our timeline, all potentially accessible through specific altered states of awareness. The implications of this understanding are staggering. If consciousness exists across time rather than simply moving through it, then our current state of awareness is constantly being influenced by and influencing both our past and future states. Every moment of consciousness is not just a point in time, but a node in an intricate web of temporal awareness. The research team conducted a series of experiments with 300 volunteers using advanced brainwave entrainment technology combined with quantum field modulators. Participants were guided into states of expanded temporal awareness where they could actively engage with different temporal versions of their consciousness. One participant, James Chen, described accessing a state of consciousness from 5 years in his future. It wasn't like seeing the future, he explained. It was more like accessing a different configuration of my own awareness. I could feel how my future self processed information, approached problems, and understood the world. Most surprisingly, I could bring that understanding back with me. This ability to access future states of consciousness raised profound questions about the nature of time and free will. If we can interact with our future consciousness, are we accessing predetermined states, or are we engaging with potential future configurations of ourselves? The answer, according to Dr. Volkov's research, appears to be both and neither. The temporal consciousness matrix suggests that future states exist as probability fields of potential consciousness, which become more or less likely based on our current choices and awareness. However, these future states can also influence our present consciousness, creating a complex feedback loop of temporal awareness. Perhaps most intriguingly, the research revealed that participants could develop what Dr. Volkov calls temporal consciousness coherence, the ability to maintain awareness of multiple temporal states simultaneously while remaining fully functional in the present moment. This state of coherence led to remarkable enhancements in cognitive ability, emotional intelligence, and creative problem-solving. Consider the implications. When facing a difficult decision, you might be able to access not just your past experience, but also your future wisdom. When learning a new skill, you could draw on the expertise of your future self who has already mastered it. When dealing with emotional challenges, you could benefit from the deeper understanding and perspective of your more evolved future consciousness. The research team documented numerous cases of accelerated learning and personal development through temporal consciousness integration. Participants reported gaining skills, insights, and understanding that would normally take years to develop. Some described experiencing what they called temporal momentum, a sense of being pulled forward by their future potential rather than pushed by their past experiences. Dr. Volkov's team also discovered that temporal consciousness integration has profound implications for healing and personal growth. By accessing future states of consciousness where certain issues have been resolved, participants could download the understanding and emotional resolution needed to address current challenges. This understanding has led to the development of new therapeutic approaches that work directly with temporal consciousness. Practitioners learn to navigate the temporal consciousness matrix, accessing different temporal nodes to facilitate healing, growth, and transformation across multiple points in their timeline simultaneously. As you continue to relax and contemplate these ideas, consider that your consciousness isn't confined to this present moment. You exist across a vast matrix of temporal awareness, with each point in time offering its own wisdom, perspective, and potential for growth. Your future self isn't just a possibility. It's a state of consciousness that you can learn to access and integrate into your present awareness. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for developing temporal consciousness coherence. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that you are far more than your present moment consciousness. You are a being of temporal multiplicity, capable of accessing and integrating wisdom from across the entire spectrum of your existence. Deep within the mountainous regions of Tibet, researchers stumbled upon what they now call the consciousness field effect. This discovery emerged from a peculiar observation made by Dr. Rachel Winters and her team while studying a group of advanced meditation practitioners living in remote monasteries. These individuals demonstrated an extraordinary ability to influence physical reality through what appeared to be pure consciousness. The breakthrough came when the team noticed that objects in the vicinity of these practitioners would exhibit quantum behaviors, typically only observed at the microscopic level. Using state-of-the-art quantum field sensors, they detected what they termed consciousness-induced quantum fields, extending several meters from each practitioner. These fields appeared to alter the fundamental properties of matter and energy within their radius. What made this discovery particularly revolutionary was that these effects weren't limited to individual practitioners. When multiple meditators focused their consciousness in harmony, their individual fields would merge and amplify, creating what Dr. Winters called macro-quantum coherence zones. Within these zones, the normal rules of physics seemed to become more flexible, leading to phenomena that challenged our understanding of reality itself. One documented case involved a group of 7 practitioners who, while in deep meditation, created a coherence zone that extended nearly half a kilometer in diameter. Within this zone, observers reported experiencing time differently, with some describing minutes stretching into hours or hours compressing into moments. More remarkably, plants within the zone exhibited accelerated growth patterns, completing weeks of growth in mere hours. Dr. Winters collaborated with quantum physicist Dr. Marcus Chen to develop the unified field consciousness theory. This theory proposes that consciousness isn't just an observer of reality, but a fundamental force that can directly interact with and modify the quantum field that underlies all of existence. According to their research, when consciousness reaches certain states of coherence, it can create reality bubbles where the normal constraints of physical laws become more malleable. The implications of this understanding extend far beyond the individual. The research suggests that collective consciousness, when properly aligned, could potentially reshape the fabric of reality itself. This isn't just about mind over matter. It's about consciousness as a fundamental force of nature, capable of directly influencing the quantum field that gives rise to physical reality. The team conducted extensive experiments with volunteer groups, teaching them specialized meditation techniques designed to generate and maintain consciousness fields. The results were consistently extraordinary. Participants learned to create measurable changes in their immediate environment, from altering electromagnetic fields to influencing quantum probability distributions. One particularly notable experiment involved a group of 30 participants who, after 6 months of training, demonstrated the ability to collectively influence random number generators at a distance. The statistical significance of their results was so high that it challenged conventional understanding of causality and probability. But perhaps the most profound aspect of this research was its implications for human potential. Dr. Winters discovered that the ability to generate and maintain consciousness fields wasn't limited to experienced meditators or spiritual adepts. With proper training, ordinary individuals could learn to access and develop these abilities, suggesting that this might be an innate human capacity rather than an extraordinary gift. The research also revealed an interesting connection between emotional states and field strength. Participants who maintained states of deep compassion and universal love generated significantly stronger and more stable consciousness fields than those operating from other emotional frequencies. This led to the development of what they called heart-centered quantum field generation, a technique that combines emotional coherence with quantum awareness. Consider the implications. If consciousness can directly influence the quantum field, and if this ability can be developed through practice, then we might be capable of far more than we've previously imagined. The boundaries between internal and external reality become more fluid, suggesting that our consciousness plays a far more active role in shaping our reality than previously thought. This understanding has led to the development of new approaches to everything from healing to environmental restoration. Practitioners are learning to use consciousness fields to accelerate healing processes, enhance plant growth, and even influence weather patterns on a local scale. While these applications are still in their early stages, the results are promising enough to suggest we're only beginning to understand the true potential of conscious interaction with the quantum field. As you continue to relax and absorb these concepts, consider that your consciousness might not be just a passive observer of reality. You might be actively participating in the creation and maintenance of the physical world around you through your own consciousness field. Every thought, every emotion, every state of awareness might be contributing to the larger quantum field that shapes our shared reality. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for developing and working with your own consciousness field. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that you are not just in the world. You are actively participating in its ongoing creation through the field of your consciousness. Deep beneath the surface of ordinary consciousness lies a phenomenon that researchers at the Neural Synchronicity Institute have termed the holographic memory matrix. This revolutionary discovery emerged from their work with individuals who displayed an extraordinary ability to access what appeared to be a universal field of information, storage, and retrieval. The breakthrough came through the case of Elena Rodriguez, a previously ordinary accountant who, following an intense meditation experience, suddenly gained access to what she described as the library of all possible knowledge. She could accurately describe historical events she had never studied, solve complex mathematical equations without formal training, and even speak languages she had never learned. Dr. Catherine Chang, the lead researcher studying Elena's case, discovered something remarkable when mapping her brain activity. Using advanced quantum neural imaging, she found that Elena's neural patterns didn't show the typical signs of memory retrieval. Instead, her brain appeared to be connecting to what Dr. Chang called information nodes in the quantum field itself. This led to the development of the holographic memory matrix theory, which suggests that all information, past, present, and potential future, exists in a vast quantum hologram that permeates all of space-time. Our brains, rather than being storage devices for memories and information, might actually be sophisticated quantum receivers capable of tuning into this universal information field. The research team conducted extensive experiments with 200 volunteers using a combination of advanced meditation techniques and quantum field resonance technology. They discovered that under certain conditions, participants could learn to access this universal information field consciously. The results were nothing short of extraordinary. One participant, Michael Chen, with no prior medical knowledge, could accurately diagnose complex medical conditions by accessing detailed anatomical and physiological information from the field. Another participant, Sarah Williams, could solve advanced physics problems by tapping into what she described as the mathematical architecture of the universe. But the most fascinating aspect of this research wasn't just the ability to access information, it was the nature of the information itself. Participants reported that the knowledge they accessed wasn't static or linear like traditional learning. Instead, it was dynamic, multidimensional, and contextualized within a vast web of interconnected understanding. Dr. Chang's team discovered that this access to the holographic memory matrix wasn't limited to factual information. Participants could also access emotional wisdom, creative insights, and even potential future developments. It was as if they were tapping into not just a universal database, but a living field of evolving consciousness and possibility. The implications of this understanding are profound. If all information exists in a quantum hologram accessible to human consciousness, then our current educational models might be unnecessarily limited. Instead of spending years accumulating knowledge through traditional learning, we might be able to develop techniques for directly accessing the information we need when we need it. Consider this. When you struggle to remember something, you might not actually be trying to recall information stored in your brain. Instead, you might be attempting to reestablish a connection to that particular information node in the universal hologram. This explains why memories sometimes feel like they come to us, rather than being retrieved from storage. The research team also discovered that access to the holographic memory matrix was enhanced by certain states of consciousness. Deep meditation, heightened emotional coherence, and what they called quantum neural synchronization all improved participants' ability to connect with and retrieve information from the field. This led to the development of specific protocols for accessing the matrix consciously. Through a combination of brainwave entrainment, emotional attunement, and quantum field awareness exercises, participants learned to navigate this vast sea of universal information with increasing precision and control. One particularly interesting finding was the role of intention in accessing the matrix. Participants found that clear, focused intention acted like a search function, helping them locate specific information within the infinite field of possibility. However, this intention had to be balanced with a state of receptive awareness. Too much active seeking could actually interfere with the connection. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between individual and collective access to the matrix. When participants worked in groups, maintaining coherent intention and emotional states, Their ability to access and integrate information from the field was significantly enhanced. This suggested that the holographic memory matrix might be better accessed through collaborative rather than individual consciousness. As you continue to relax and contemplate these ideas, consider that all the knowledge you might ever need already exists in the quantum hologram surrounding you. Your brain isn't a storage device, but a quantum receiver, capable of tuning into this vast field of information. Every moment of inspiration, every sudden insight, every aha moment might be an instance of successfully accessing the holographic memory matrix. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for developing your ability to access and navigate this universal field of information. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that you are surrounded by an infinite library of knowledge and wisdom, waiting to be accessed through the quantum receiver of your consciousness. Within the depths of quantum consciousness research, scientists at the Resonance Dynamics Institute have uncovered what they call the synchronicity wave function. This phenomenon explains how seemingly unrelated events become meaningfully connected through consciousness, revealing a deeper pattern of universal orchestration. The discovery emerged through the work of Dr. Benjamin Foster, who noticed unusual patterns in quantum field measurements during moments of significant synchronicity. Using advanced quantum sensors, his team detected what appeared to be waves of coherent energy that preceded and accompanied meaningful coincidences. These synchronicity waves showed distinct patterns that differed from normal quantum fluctuations. They appeared to ripple through both space and time, creating what Dr. Foster termed probability clusters, zones where the likelihood of meaningful connections and events increased dramatically. More intriguingly, these waves seem to respond to human consciousness, particularly to states of focused awareness and emotional coherence. The research team developed a theoretical framework suggesting that synchronicity isn't just a psychological phenomenon, as Carl Jung proposed, but a fundamental property of consciousness interacting with quantum reality. They discovered that every conscious being generates their own unique synchronicity field, which interacts with the larger quantum fabric of reality to attract or repel potential experiences. Dr. Foster's team conducted extensive experiments with 400 participants using quantum field detectors combined with advanced consciousness monitoring systems. They found that individuals could learn to consciously modulate their synchronicity fields, effectively increasing the frequency and significance of meaningful coincidences in their lives. One participant, Lisa Chen, described the experience. It was like discovering I had a hidden sense. Suddenly, I could feel the subtle currents of possibility flowing around me. I learned to recognize the particular sensation that preceded significant synchronicities, and eventually, I could actually direct these currents toward desired outcomes. The most remarkable aspect of this research was the discovery that synchronicity waves don't just connect events in the present. They appear to link past, present, and future in complex patterns of meaning. The team documented numerous cases where participants, after learning to work with their synchronicity fields, experienced chains of meaningful events that seemed to have been orchestrated across time itself. Consider this example. A participant focusing on a particular life question would experience a series of apparently random events, perhaps overhearing a conversation, receiving an unexpected phone call, and noticing a peculiar pattern in nature. When analyzed through quantum field measurements, these events showed clear evidence of being connected by synchronicity waves that had begun forming hours or even days before the participant formed their question. The research also revealed that synchronicity waves could be generated and maintained collectively. When groups of participants focused their consciousness in harmony, they created what Dr. Foster called synchronicity field amplification zones, areas where the probability of meaningful coincidences increased dramatically for everyone within the field. This led to the development of conscious synchronicity engineering, a set of techniques for deliberately working with synchronicity waves to facilitate positive outcomes and meaningful connections. Practitioners learned to recognize and respond to the subtle signals that preceded synchronistic events, effectively surfing these waves of possibility toward desired experiences. One of the most fascinating aspects of this research was the discovery of what Dr. Foster termed resonant nodes, points in space-time where synchronicity waves naturally converge. These nodes appeared to act as amplifiers for conscious intention, making it easier to manifest meaningful connections and experiences when working within their influence. The team also found that certain emotional states were more conducive to generating and riding synchronicity waves. States of gratitude, wonder, and open-hearted awareness seem to create the most coherent and powerful synchronicity fields. Conversely, states of fear, doubt, and rigid expectation tended to dampen or distort these fields. This understanding has led to new approaches in personal development and goal achievement. Rather than forcing outcomes through willpower alone, practitioners learn to align with and amplify naturally occurring synchronicity waves. This often results in achieving desired outcomes through surprisingly effortless and meaningful chains of events. The implications of this research extend far beyond individual application. The team discovered that large-scale events, from social movements to technological breakthroughs, often ride on massive synchronicity waves that can be detected and potentially even influenced through conscious interaction. As you continue to relax and absorb these concepts, consider that you might already be unconsciously sensing and responding to synchronicity waves in your life. Those moments of perfect timing, unexpected connections, and meaningful coincidences might be instances where you've naturally aligned with these quantum patterns of possibility. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for developing your ability to sense and work with synchronicity waves. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that you exist within a vast ocean of meaningful connection, where every moment holds the potential for significant synchronicity. In the innovative laboratories of the Quantum Consciousness Institute, researchers have identified a phenomenon they've named the morphic resonance field. This discovery emerged from their groundbreaking work in mapping the invisible connections between consciousness and physical reality at the quantum level. Dr. Sarah Blackwood, leading a team of quantum physicists and consciousness researchers, discovered that every thought, emotion, and intention generates specific patterns in the quantum field, patterns that don't simply dissipate, but become part of what she calls the universal memory template. These templates act as blueprints for future manifestations, making similar patterns more likely to occur across space and time. The breakthrough came when the team developed new quantum sensing technology capable of detecting and measuring these morphic resonance patterns. What they found was astonishing. Human consciousness doesn't just create these patterns. It actively draws upon existing patterns from the collective field, unconsciously using them as templates for learning, behavior, and even physical development. Using advanced quantum field imaging, they observed how individuals learning new skills weren't just practicing. They were unconsciously tapping into morphic resonance fields created by everyone who had ever mastered that skill. This explained why certain skills often become easier to learn over time, even when there's no direct transmission of knowledge. The research team conducted extensive experiments with 500 participants, studying how morphic resonance fields influence learning, development, and consciousness itself. They discovered that these fields operate on multiple levels simultaneously, from the cellular to the cosmic, creating a vast network of interconnected information and potential. One particularly fascinating case involved twins separated at birth. Despite growing up in different countries with no contact, they developed nearly identical mannerisms, preferences, and even specific skills. The team's measurements showed that both twins were accessing the same morphic resonance patterns, suggesting that these fields operate independently of physical proximity or conscious awareness. Dr. Blackwood's team identified what they called morphic attractors, powerful patterns in the quantum field that act as organizing principles for consciousness and physical reality. These attractors appeared to influence everything from individual behavior to collective social movements, operating as invisible guides for the evolution of consciousness itself. The research revealed that individuals could learn to consciously interact with these morphic fields through specific meditation techniques and quantum field awareness exercises. Participants developed the ability to access and utilize morphic patterns intentionally. This led to accelerated learning, enhanced creativity, and what many described as direct knowing, the ability to understand complex information without traditional study. Consider this example. A participant with no prior musical training was able to develop advanced piano skills in a fraction of the normal learning time by consciously accessing the morphic resonance field of accomplished pianists. The team's measurements showed that she wasn't just learning, she was literally downloading established patterns of musical ability from the collective field. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between emotional states and morphic field access. States of open-hearted awareness, wonder, and receptivity appeared to enhance one's ability to connect with and utilize morphic patterns. Conversely, states of fear, doubt, and rigid thinking seem to create resistance to these fields. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team discovered that morphic resonance fields could be intentionally generated and strengthened. When groups of people focused their consciousness on specific patterns or possibilities, they created what Dr. Blackwood called morphic field amplification zones, areas where certain potentials became more likely to manifest. This understanding has led to new approaches in education, skill development, and personal growth. Rather than relying solely on traditional learning methods, practitioners learn to access and utilize existing morphic patterns while consciously contributing to the creation of new ones. This creates a dynamic feedback loop between individual and collective development. The implications of this research extend far beyond individual learning and development. The team discovered that morphic resonance fields play a crucial role in the evolution of consciousness itself. As more individuals access and strengthen certain patterns, they become more available to the collective, potentially accelerating the development of human potential on a global scale. As you continue to relax and contemplate these ideas, consider that you're not just an isolated consciousness. You're constantly interacting with and contributing to a vast field of morphic resonance. Every skill you master, every insight you gain, becomes part of the collective field, potentially making those achievements more accessible to others. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously working with morphic resonance fields. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that you're part of a vast network of evolving patterns and possibilities, each thought and action contributing to the collective template of human potential. At the frontier of consciousness research, scientists at the Quantum Coherence Laboratory have uncovered what they term the resonant field effect. This phenomenon reveals how human consciousness can create and maintain stable patterns of influence in the quantum field, effectively establishing what might be called consciousness anchors in reality. Dr. James Morrison and his team made this discovery while studying the long-term effects of sustained meditation practices on quantum field dynamics. Using specially designed quantum sensors, they detected persistent patterns in the quantum field that remained stable long after meditators had completed their practice sessions. These patterns appeared to maintain their coherence and continue influencing local reality in specific ways. The breakthrough came when they realized these patterns weren't just residual effects. They were active fields of influence that could be intentionally created and maintained through focused consciousness. These resonant fields appeared to function as stable nodes of influence in the quantum fabric of reality, creating zones where certain states of consciousness and physical effects became more probable. The research team worked with 600 trained practitioners to study how these resonant fields could be consciously generated and maintained. They discovered that individuals could learn to create what Dr. Morrison called consciousness anchors, stable points of influence in the quantum field that continued to broadcast specific patterns of information and energy, even when the practitioner wasn't actively focusing on them. One remarkable case involved a practitioner named David Chen, who learned to establish a resonant field that maintained a measurable calming influence in his home environment. Quantum measurements showed that this field remained stable for weeks, creating a zone where visitors consistently reported feeling more peaceful and centered, even without knowing about the experiment. The team identified several key factors that influenced the strength and stability of these resonant fields: the emotional coherence of the practitioner, the clarity of their intention, and their ability to maintain focused awareness all played crucial roles in establishing effective consciousness anchors. More importantly, they discovered that these fields could be strengthened over time through regular attention and refinement. Consider this analogy. Just as a magnet creates a stable field that influences nearby magnetic materials, consciousness can create stable fields that influence nearby consciousness and physical reality. These fields don't require constant attention to maintain their effect, but they can be enhanced and refined through conscious interaction. Dr. Morrison's team also discovered that resonant fields could be created collectively. When groups of practitioners work together with coherent intention, they could establish larger and more powerful fields of influence. These collective fields showed remarkable stability and could influence broader areas and more complex aspects of reality. The research revealed an interesting phenomenon they called field entrainment. When a strong resonant field was established, it tended to draw nearby consciousness and physical systems into harmony with its pattern. This explained why certain locations or environments seemed to naturally induce specific states of consciousness or facilitate particular types of experiences. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team found that resonant fields could be programmed with specific information or intentions. Practitioners learned to encode their consciousness anchors with particular qualities or purposes: healing energy, enhanced creativity, accelerated learning, or other desired effects. These programmed fields maintained their specific influence over time, creating zones where certain outcomes became more probable. This understanding has led to new approaches in environmental design, healing practices, and personal development. Practitioners learn to consciously create and maintain resonant fields that support their intentions and desired outcomes. These fields act as subtle but persistent influences, gently guiding reality toward preferred possibilities. The implications of this research extend beyond individual applications. The team discovered that large-scale events and social changes often correlate with the emergence of powerful resonant fields in the collective consciousness. This suggests that by learning to work with these fields intentionally, we might be able to influence the direction of human development more effectively. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between resonant fields and physical location. Certain geographical areas appeared to be more conducive to establishing and maintaining stable consciousness anchors. These resonant nodes in the Earth's energy field could be used to amplify and stabilize consciousness-generated patterns. As you continue to relax and absorb these concepts, consider that you might already be unconsciously creating and interacting with resonant fields in your environment. Those places where you consistently feel more focused, creative, or peaceful might be locations where you've naturally established consciousness anchors through repeated patterns of thought and emotion. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously creating and maintaining resonant fields. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your consciousness has the power to establish stable patterns of influence in reality, creating environments that support your highest intentions and aspirations. At the cutting edge of consciousness research, scientists at the Non-Local Intelligence Laboratory have uncovered what they've termed the quantum entanglement of consciousness. This groundbreaking discovery reveals how human awareness can become directly entangled with both other consciousnesses and the fabric of reality itself at the quantum level. Dr. Maya Patel and her research team made this remarkable discovery while studying the quantum properties of neural networks during states of deep meditation and focused intention. Using advanced quantum coherence detectors, they observed that human consciousness could establish and maintain stable entanglement connections across space and time. The breakthrough came when they detected what Dr. Patel called consciousness bridges, quantum channels through which information and influence could flow instantaneously between entangled points of awareness. These bridges appeared to operate outside the normal constraints of space-time, allowing for immediate connection and communication, regardless of physical distance. Working with 700 pairs of participants, the team conducted extensive experiments in consciousness entanglement. They discovered that individuals could learn to consciously create and maintain these quantum bridges, establishing direct links of awareness that transcended physical separation. These connections remained stable even when participants were separated by thousands of miles. One particularly fascinating case involved identical twins, Maria and Sofia Rodriguez. When in their entangled state, they could share thoughts, emotions, and even physical sensations with perfect accuracy. Brain scans showed their neural patterns synchronizing exactly, despite being in different continents. More remarkably, this connection persisted even when one twin was asleep, suggesting that consciousness entanglement operates at levels deeper than ordinary waking awareness. The research team identified several factors that influenced the strength and stability of consciousness entanglement: emotional resonance between participants, the depth of their conscious intention, and their ability to maintain coherent awareness all played crucial roles. They also discovered that certain quantum frequencies could enhance and stabilize these entanglement connections. Through their experiments, they uncovered what they called entanglement cascades, situations where an initial consciousness bridge would spontaneously expand to include other nearby awareness points. This suggested that consciousness entanglement might naturally tend toward increasing complexity and interconnection. Consider this phenomenon. When two people establish a strong consciousness bridge, others in their vicinity often report experiencing unexpected insights or emotions that clearly originated from the entangled pair. This indicated that consciousness entanglement could create fields of influence that affected even those not directly involved in the connection. The team also discovered that consciousness could become entangled not just with other consciousness, but with physical systems and even abstract information fields. Practitioners learned to establish direct quantum connections with specific locations, objects, or fields of knowledge, gaining immediate access to information and influence that would normally be inaccessible. Dr. Patel's research revealed that consciousness entanglement operated on multiple levels simultaneously. Beyond the obvious mental and emotional connections, entangled participants showed synchronization at the cellular level, with their bodies' biological rhythms falling into perfect harmony. This suggested that consciousness entanglement affected the entire human system from the quantum to the physical. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team found evidence that consciousness entanglement could operate across time as well as space. Participants showed the ability to establish quantum bridges with both past and future points of awareness, suggesting that consciousness might not be as bound by temporal limitations as previously thought. This understanding has opened new possibilities in fields ranging from healing and education to global communication and problem solving. Practitioners learn to consciously create and utilize entanglement connections to share information, facilitate healing, and coordinate action across any distance instantaneously. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between consciousness entanglement and collective intelligence. When groups of people established multiple quantum bridges among themselves, they created what Dr. Patel called entanglement networks, fields of shared awareness that could process information and generate insights far beyond the capabilities of individual minds. The implications of this research extend to our understanding of human potential and the nature of reality itself. If consciousness can become quantum entangled, then our traditional views of separation and individuality might need significant revision. We might be far more interconnected at the quantum level than we previously realized. As you continue to relax and contemplate these ideas, consider that you might already be experiencing natural consciousness entanglement in your daily life. Those moments of unexpected connection, shared insights, or spontaneous understanding might be instances where quantum bridges have naturally formed between points of awareness. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously creating and working with consciousness entanglement. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your consciousness has the inherent ability to form direct quantum connections with other points of awareness, transcending the ordinary limitations of space and time. In the advanced research facilities of the Quantum Field Interface Laboratory, scientists have discovered what they call the conscious observer effect. This phenomenon extends far beyond the traditional understanding of quantum observation, revealing how human consciousness actively shapes and influences the manifestation of reality at the quantum level. Dr. Alexander Wright and his team made this groundbreaking discovery while studying the interaction between focused human attention and quantum probability fields. Using highly sensitive quantum field detectors, they observed that conscious observation doesn't just collapse quantum waves. It actively shapes the pattern and probability of quantum events in ways that persist long after the observation ends. The breakthrough came when they identified what Dr. Wright termed consciousness imprints, lasting patterns in the quantum field created by sustained conscious attention. These imprints appeared to function as templates, influencing how future quantum possibilities would collapse into physical reality within their sphere of influence. Working with 800 trained observers, the research team conducted extensive experiments in conscious quantum interaction. They discovered that individuals could learn to consciously create and maintain these quantum imprints, effectively programming certain probabilities into the fabric of reality itself. These patterns showed remarkable stability and could influence physical events in measurable ways. One remarkable case involved a practitioner named Michael Thompson, who learned to create quantum imprints that significantly influenced electronic systems. He could reliably affect random number generators and even influence more complex electronic processes through sustained conscious attention. The team's measurements showed that these effects persisted for hours after he had ceased his direct observation. The research revealed several key factors that influenced the strength and persistence of consciousness imprints: the clarity of the observer's intention, their emotional coherence, and their ability to maintain focused attention all played crucial roles. More importantly, they discovered that these imprints could be strengthened and refined through repeated conscious interaction. Through their experiments, they uncovered what they called probability cascades, situations where an initial quantum imprint would trigger a series of increasingly probable events, leading to significant changes in physical reality. This suggested that consciousness could initiate chain reactions of quantum effects that amplified its influence on the physical world. Consider this phenomenon. When a trained observer created a strong quantum imprint focused on a specific outcome, the probability of related events would begin to shift in observable ways. These shifts would often extend far beyond the immediate area of focus, creating what Dr. Wright called probability ripples in the quantum field. The team also discovered that quantum imprints could be created collectively. When groups of observers focused their attention together, they could establish larger and more powerful patterns of influence in the quantum field. These collective imprints showed exceptional stability and could affect broader aspects of physical reality. Dr. Wright's research revealed that the conscious observer effect operated on multiple scales simultaneously. Beyond influencing individual quantum events, sustained conscious observation could shape larger patterns of probability, affecting everything from molecular interactions to macroscopic events. This suggested that consciousness might play a far more active role in shaping reality than previously understood. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team found evidence that quantum imprints could influence both past and future events. The patterns created by conscious observation appeared to ripple both backward and forward in time, suggesting that the relationship between consciousness and temporal causality might be more complex than traditionally believed. This understanding has led to new approaches in fields ranging from technology and medicine to environmental science and probability engineering. Practitioners learn to consciously create and maintain quantum imprints that support desired outcomes, effectively programming probability patterns into the quantum field. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between quantum imprints and physical location. Certain areas appeared to be more conducive to establishing and maintaining these patterns of influence. These quantum resonance zones could be used to amplify and stabilize the effects of conscious observation. The implications of this research extend to our fundamental understanding of reality and human potential. If consciousness can actively shape quantum probability fields, then our role in the universe might be far more participatory than previously thought. We might not be passive observers, but active co-creators of reality at the quantum level. As you continue to relax and absorb these concepts, consider that you might already be unconsciously creating quantum imprints through your habitual patterns of attention and expectation. Those areas of your life where certain outcomes seem more probable might be regions where you've naturally established strong quantum patterns through repeated observation. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously creating and working with quantum imprints. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your consciousness has the inherent ability to shape the probability fields of reality, influencing how quantum possibilities collapse into physical experience. At the Quantum Consciousness Integration Center, researchers have identified what they've named the holographic memory field. This discovery reveals how consciousness interacts with a vast field of information that appears to store and process every experience, thought, and possibility across space and time. Dr. Elena Rodriguez and her research team made this revolutionary discovery while investigating the quantum properties of memory and consciousness. Using advanced quantum field resonance technology, they detected what appeared to be a universal information matrix that stores and processes experiences in a holographic format, accessible through specific states of consciousness. The breakthrough came when they identified what Dr. Rodriguez called memory nodes, points in the quantum field where information appears to be holographically encoded and stored. These nodes weren't limited to individual memories, but contained entire patterns of experience, knowledge, and potential that could be accessed through consciousness resonance. Working with 900 participants, the team conducted extensive experiments in accessing and interpreting this holographic field. They discovered that individuals could learn to consciously tune into these memory nodes, accessing information and experiences far beyond their personal history. This suggested that consciousness might be interfacing with a universal repository of information and experience. One fascinating case involved a participant named Thomas Chen, who, during a deep meditative state, accessed detailed information about ancient Egyptian architectural practices that was later verified by archaeological evidence. He had no prior knowledge of Egyptian architecture, yet the information he accessed was remarkably accurate and included details that weren't yet publicly known. The research team identified several key factors that influenced the clarity and reliability of holographic field access. The individual's state of consciousness, their emotional coherence, and their ability to maintain focused awareness all played crucial roles. They also discovered that certain brainwave patterns facilitated clearer access to the field. Through their experiments, they uncovered what they called holographic resonance chains, situations where accessing one memory node would automatically connect to a series of related nodes, revealing complex patterns of interconnected information and experience. This suggested that the holographic field was organized in meaningful networks rather than random collections of data. Consider this phenomenon. When a participant successfully accessed a memory node, they often received not just information, but complete experiential understanding, including emotional context and practical applications. This suggested that the holographic field stores information in a full spectrum format that includes all aspects of experience. The team also discovered that the holographic field could be accessed collectively. When groups of participants synchronized their consciousness, they could establish broader and deeper connections to the field, accessing more complex and comprehensive information. These collective access points showed remarkable stability and clarity. Dr. Rodriguez's research revealed that the holographic memory field operated beyond normal space-time constraints. Information accessed through the field wasn't limited by chronological sequence. Participants could access information from any point in time, suggesting that the field exists in a state of temporal simultaneity. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team found evidence that the holographic field wasn't just a passive repository, but an active processing system. When accessed consciously, it appeared to organize and present information in ways that were specifically relevant to the accessor's current situation and needs. This understanding has opened new possibilities in fields ranging from education and research to problem solving and innovation. Practitioners learn to consciously access and utilize the holographic field to gain insights, understand complex systems, and discover novel solutions to challenging problems. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between emotional states and field access. States of open curiosity, wonder, and receptivity appeared to facilitate clearer access to the field, while states of fear, doubt, and rigid thinking seemed to create interference patterns that limited access. The implications of this research extend to our understanding of consciousness, memory, and the nature of reality itself. If all information and experience are holographically encoded and accessible through consciousness, then our current models of learning, memory, and knowledge acquisition might need significant revision. As you continue to relax and contemplate these ideas, consider that you might already be unconsciously accessing the holographic memory field in your daily life. Those moments of unexpected insight, intuitive understanding, or spontaneous knowing might be instances where you've naturally tuned into this universal information matrix. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously accessing and working with the holographic memory field. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your consciousness has the inherent ability to connect with a vast field of holographically encoded information and experience, transcending the ordinary limitations of personal memory and knowledge. At the Quantum Harmonic Research Institute, scientists have uncovered what they've termed the resonant frequency matrix. This discovery reveals how consciousness interacts with and influences reality through specific vibrational patterns that exist at the quantum level, creating what might be called a symphony of creation. Dr. Nathan Kimura and his research team made this groundbreaking discovery while studying the relationship between consciousness and quantum field vibrations. Using specially designed quantum frequency analyzers, they detected distinct patterns of vibration that appeared to form a complex matrix of interactive frequencies, each corresponding to different aspects of consciousness and physical reality. The breakthrough came when they identified what Dr. Kimura called frequency nodes, specific points in the quantum field where consciousness could directly interact with and influence these vibrational patterns. These nodes appeared to function as tuning points, allowing consciousness to adjust and harmonize various aspects of reality through resonant frequency manipulation. Working with 1,000 trained practitioners, the research team conducted extensive experiments in conscious frequency manipulation. They discovered that individuals could learn to consciously attune to and influence these frequency patterns, effectively tuning reality at the quantum level. This ability showed remarkable precision and could produce measurable effects in physical systems. One particularly fascinating case involved a practitioner named Lisa Martinez, who learned to consciously adjust quantum frequencies to influence molecular binding patterns. Her ability to affect chemical reactions through focused consciousness was thoroughly documented and verified through multiple controlled experiments. The research team identified several key factors that influenced the effectiveness of frequency manipulation: the practitioner's state of coherence, their ability to maintain focused intention, and their level of frequency sensitivity all played crucial roles. They also discovered that these abilities could be developed and refined through specific training protocols. Through their experiments, they uncovered what they called harmonic cascades, situations where adjusting one frequency would automatically trigger adjustments in related frequencies, creating complex patterns of harmonious interaction. This suggested that the frequency matrix operated as an interconnected whole rather than isolated frequencies. Consider this phenomenon. When a practitioner successfully attuned to a specific frequency node, they could influence not just that particular frequency, but entire ranges of related frequencies. This created what Dr. Kimura called resonance fields, areas where multiple frequencies aligned in harmonious patterns, producing specific effects in physical reality. The team also discovered that frequency manipulation could be performed collectively. When groups of practitioners worked together, they could create larger and more complex harmonic patterns, influencing broader aspects of reality through coordinated frequency adjustment. These collective resonance fields showed exceptional stability and power. Dr. Kimura's research revealed that the resonant frequency matrix operated on multiple levels simultaneously. Beyond influencing quantum processes, frequency manipulation could affect everything from cellular function to consciousness itself. This suggested that reality might be fundamentally organized through complex patterns of resonant frequency. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team found evidence that certain frequencies could influence temporal patterns. By manipulating specific frequency nodes, practitioners could affect how time was experienced and even influence the probability of future events. This suggested a deep connection between frequency, consciousness, and the nature of time itself. This understanding has led to new approaches in fields ranging from healing and technology to environmental restoration and consciousness development. Practitioners learn to consciously work with frequency patterns to create desired outcomes, effectively tuning reality to support specific intentions and purposes. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between emotional states and frequency manipulation. Positive emotional states appeared to naturally generate harmonious frequency patterns, while negative states created dissonant patterns that could affect both personal and environmental well-being. The implications of this research extend to our understanding of how consciousness interacts with and shapes reality. If everything exists within a matrix of resonant frequencies that can be influenced by consciousness, then our role in creating reality might be far more direct and fundamental than previously understood. As you continue to relax and absorb these concepts, consider that you might already be unconsciously interacting with the resonant frequency matrix through your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. Those moments when reality seems to naturally align with your desires might be instances where you've spontaneously created harmonious frequency patterns. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously working with the resonant frequency matrix. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your consciousness has the inherent ability to interact with and influence reality through the manipulation of quantum frequencies, participating in the ongoing symphony of creation. At the Quantum Morphic Research Center, scientists have discovered what they've named the consciousness field architecture. This breakthrough reveals how consciousness creates and maintains complex structural patterns in the quantum field that serve as templates for the manifestation of physical reality. Dr. Sarah Chen and her research team made this extraordinary discovery while investigating the geometric properties of consciousness-influenced quantum fields. Using advanced quantum topology sensors, they detected intricate patterns of organization that appeared to function as architectural blueprints for reality manifestation at the quantum level. The breakthrough came when they identified what Dr. Chen called morphic templates, structured patterns in the quantum field that appeared to guide the organization and manifestation of physical reality. These templates seemed to function as underlying frameworks that consciousness could modify and adjust to influence how reality takes form. Working with 1,100 consciousness architects, the team conducted extensive experiments in template manipulation. They discovered that individuals could learn to consciously create and modify these morphic templates, effectively redesigning the underlying patterns that guide reality manifestation. These modifications showed remarkable stability and could produce consistent effects in physical reality. One remarkable case involved a practitioner named Robert Sullivan, who learned to create morphic templates that influenced plant growth patterns. His ability to affect biological development through conscious template modification was extensively documented, showing how consciousness could directly influence physical form through quantum architecture. The research team identified several key factors that influenced the effectiveness of template manipulation: the clarity of the practitioner's visualization, their understanding of geometric principles, and their ability to maintain coherent intention all played crucial roles. They also discovered that these abilities could be systematically developed through specific training methods. Through their experiments, they uncovered what they called architectural cascades, situations where modifying one aspect of a template would trigger automatic adjustments throughout the entire structure, creating complex patterns of coordinated change. This suggested that morphic templates operated as integrated systems rather than isolated patterns. Consider this phenomenon. When a practitioner successfully modified a morphic template, the effects would often manifest across multiple levels of reality simultaneously. This created what Dr. Chen called manifestation fields, areas where physical reality would reorganize itself according to the new template patterns. The team also discovered that template manipulation could be performed collectively. When groups of practitioners worked together, they could create larger and more complex morphic templates, influencing broader aspects of reality through coordinated architectural design. These collective templates showed exceptional stability and effectiveness. Dr. Chen's research revealed that the consciousness field architecture operated on multiple scales simultaneously. Beyond influencing quantum patterns, template manipulation could affect everything from molecular structure to macroscopic form. This suggested that physical reality might be fundamentally organized through consciousness-created architectural patterns. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team found evidence that morphic templates could influence both space and time. By manipulating specific architectural patterns, Practitioners could affect how space-time organized itself around particular events or intentions. This suggested a deep connection between consciousness, form, and the structure of reality itself. This understanding has opened new possibilities in fields ranging from material science and biology to environmental design and consciousness development. Practitioners learn to consciously work with morphic templates to create desired outcomes, effectively architecting reality at the quantum level. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between creative imagination and template manipulation. The ability to clearly visualize and hold complex geometric patterns in consciousness appeared to be crucial for effective template modification. This suggested that creative visualization might be a fundamental tool for reality architecture. The implications of this research extend to our understanding of how consciousness shapes and organizes reality. If physical form emerges from consciousness-created templates at the quantum level, then our role in the creation of reality might be far more fundamental than previously understood. As you continue to relax and contemplate these ideas, consider that you might already be unconsciously working with morphic templates through your habitual patterns of thought and visualization. Those areas of your life where physical reality seems to naturally organize itself in harmonious ways might be instances where you've spontaneously created effective architectural patterns. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously working with the consciousness field architecture. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your consciousness has the inherent ability to create and modify the underlying templates that guide the manifestation of physical reality, participating in the ongoing architecture of creation. At the Quantum Synchronicity Institute, researchers have identified what they've termed the probability weaving matrix. This discovery reveals how consciousness interacts with and influences the complex web of probable events, effectively weaving desired outcomes into the fabric of reality through intentional probability manipulation. Dr. Marcus Blackwood and his research team made this groundbreaking discovery while studying the relationship between consciousness and quantum probability fields. Using specialized quantum probability sensors, they detected intricate patterns of interconnected possibilities that could be influenced and reorganized through conscious intention. The breakthrough came when they identified what Dr. Blackwood called probability nodes, points in the quantum field where multiple possible outcomes converged and could be influenced by consciousness. These nodes appeared to function as decision points where conscious intention could redirect the flow of events toward preferred possibilities. Working with 1,200 probability weavers, the team conducted extensive experiments in conscious probability manipulation. They discovered that individuals could learn to consciously influence these probability nodes, effectively weaving desired outcomes into the fabric of reality by strengthening certain probability threads while weakening others. One fascinating case involved a practitioner named Diana Wright, who demonstrated the ability to consistently influence random event generators through conscious probability weaving. Her success rate far exceeded statistical probability, showing how consciousness could directly affect the likelihood of specific outcomes. The research team identified several key factors that influenced the effectiveness of probability weaving: the practitioner's emotional coherence, their clarity of intention, and their ability to maintain focused awareness all played crucial roles. They also discovered that these abilities could be enhanced through specific training protocols. Through their experiments, they uncovered what they called probability cascades, situations where influencing one probability node would trigger automatic adjustments in related probability patterns, creating complex chains of synchronized events. This suggested that probability patterns operated as interconnected networks rather than isolated possibilities. Consider this phenomenon. When a practitioner successfully influenced a probability node, the effects would often ripple outward, affecting related probabilities in unexpected but meaningful ways. This created what Dr. Blackwood called synchronicity fields, areas where events naturally aligned to support the intended outcome. The team also discovered that probability weaving could be performed collectively. When groups of practitioners worked together, they could influence larger and more complex probability patterns, affecting broader aspects of reality through coordinated intention. These collective probability fields showed remarkable stability and effectiveness. Dr. Blackwood's research revealed that the probability weaving matrix operated on multiple levels simultaneously. Beyond influencing individual events, probability weaving could affect patterns of circumstance, relationship dynamics, and even larger social trends. This suggested that reality might be fundamentally organized through interwoven patterns of probability. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team found evidence that probability weaving could influence both past and future events. By manipulating specific probability nodes, practitioners could affect how past events were interpreted and how future possibilities unfolded. This suggested a dynamic relationship between consciousness, probability, and temporal sequence. This understanding has opened new possibilities in fields ranging from decision-making and strategic planning to personal development and social change. Practitioners learn to consciously work with probability patterns to create desired outcomes, effectively weaving preferred possibilities into their experience of reality. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between belief systems and probability weaving. Personal and collective beliefs appeared to create default probability patterns that influenced how events typically unfolded. By consciously modifying these belief patterns, practitioners could change their probable experience of reality. The implications of this research extend to our understanding of how consciousness shapes experience through probability manipulation. If reality emerges from consciousness-influenced probability patterns, then our role in creating our experience might be far more direct and fundamental than previously understood. As you continue to relax and absorb these concepts, consider that you might already be unconsciously weaving probability patterns through your habitual thoughts and expectations. Those times when events seem to naturally flow in your favor might be instances where you've spontaneously created beneficial probability patterns. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously working with the probability weaving matrix. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your consciousness has the inherent ability to influence and reorganize probability patterns, participating in the ongoing weaving of reality through intentional probability manipulation. At the Quantum Entanglement Research Facility, Scientists have uncovered what they've designated as the Consciousness Network Protocol. This discovery reveals how individual consciousness points are inherently connected through a vast quantum network, allowing for direct communication and influence across space and time. Dr. Maya Patel and her research team made this revolutionary discovery while investigating quantum entanglement patterns in consciousness fields. Using advanced quantum coherence detectors, they identified an intricate web of interconnected consciousness points that formed a self-organizing network of awareness and information exchange. The breakthrough came when they identified what Dr. Patel called consciousness nodes, points in the quantum field where individual awareness connects to the larger network. These nodes appeared to function as communication hubs, allowing consciousness to share information and influence across the entire network instantaneously. Working with 1,300 network practitioners, the team conducted extensive experiments in conscious network interaction. They discovered that individuals could learn to consciously access and utilize these network connections, effectively engaging in direct consciousness-to-consciousness communication and influence across any distance. One remarkable case involved two practitioners, James Chen and Maria Santos, who demonstrated consistent ability to share complex information through the consciousness network while physically separated by thousands of miles. Their exchanges were verified through detailed documentation of shared experiences and information that couldn't have been obtained through conventional means. The research team identified several key factors that influenced the effectiveness of network communication. The practitioners' mental clarity, their emotional stability, and their ability to maintain focused connection all played crucial roles. They also discovered that these abilities could be developed through specific network training protocols. Through their experiments, they uncovered what they called network resonance patterns, situations where multiple consciousness points would synchronize their activity, creating powerful fields of shared awareness and influence. This suggested that the consciousness network could function as a coordinated system rather than just individual connections. Consider this phenomenon. When practitioners successfully established network connections, they could share not just information, but entire states of consciousness, including emotions, insights, and even skills. This created what Dr. Patel called consciousness fields, areas where multiple awareness points merged and shared their collective experience. The team also discovered that network interactions could be established between multiple participants simultaneously. When groups of practitioners connected through the network, they could create larger and more complex fields of shared consciousness, affecting broader aspects of reality through coordinated awareness. These collective fields showed exceptional stability and power. Dr. Patel's research revealed that the consciousness network protocol operated beyond normal space-time constraints. Network connections appeared to be instantaneous regardless of physical distance, and information could be shared across different points in time. This suggested that consciousness might exist in a dimension where conventional space-time limitations don't apply. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team found evidence that the network contained what they called memory clusters, collections of shared experiences and knowledge that any connected consciousness could access. This suggested the existence of a collective repository of consciousness that transcends individual experience. This understanding has opened new possibilities in fields ranging from education and communication to healing and consciousness development. Practitioners learn to consciously access and utilize the network for purposes of learning, healing, and collective evolution. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between intention and network connection. Clear, focused intention appeared to strengthen network connections and facilitate more effective information exchange. This suggested that conscious intention might be a key factor in accessing and utilizing the network. The implications of this research extend to our understanding of consciousness and its role in reality. If all consciousness points are inherently connected through a quantum network, then our experience of separation might be more apparent than real, and our potential for collective consciousness might be far greater than previously understood. As you continue to relax and contemplate these concepts, consider that you might already be unconsciously participating in the consciousness network through your intuitive connections with others and moments of spontaneous knowing. Those experiences of unexpected insight or connection might be instances where you've naturally accessed the network. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously working with the Consciousness Network protocol. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your consciousness is inherently connected to a vast network of awareness, participating in an ongoing exchange of experience and information across the quantum field. At the Quantum Dimensional Research Center, scientists have discovered what they've named the Reality Interface Protocol. This breakthrough reveals how consciousness navigates and interacts with multiple dimensions of reality simultaneously, accessing and integrating information and experience across different planes of existence. Dr. Alexander Ross and his research team made this extraordinary discovery while studying consciousness transitions between different quantum states. Using specialized quantum dimensional sensors, they detected clear patterns of consciousness movement between what appeared to be parallel dimensions or reality layers. The breakthrough came when they identified what Dr. Ross called dimensional gateways, specific points in the quantum field where consciousness could naturally transition between different reality layers. These gateways appeared to function as access points, allowing consciousness to explore and interact with multiple dimensions of experience. Working with 1,400 dimensional navigators, the team conducted extensive experiments in conscious dimensional navigation. They discovered that individuals could learn to consciously access and move between different reality layers, effectively exploring and integrating experiences from multiple dimensions of existence. One fascinating case involved a practitioner named Sophia Chen, who demonstrated the ability to consistently access and retrieve detailed information from parallel reality dimensions. Her experiences were extensively documented and verified through cross-referencing with quantum field measurements and other practitioners' experiences. The research team identified several key factors that influenced the effectiveness of dimensional navigation. The practitioner's state of consciousness, their level of dimensional awareness, and their ability to maintain stable focus all played crucial roles. They also discovered that these abilities could be developed through specific training methods. Through their experiments, they uncovered what they called dimensional resonance patterns, situations where multiple reality layers would align and interact, creating unique opportunities for cross-dimensional experience and information exchange. This suggested that dimensions weren't entirely separate, but could interact and influence each other. Consider this phenomenon. When practitioners successfully accessed different dimensional layers, they could experience not just different versions of reality, but entirely different sets of physical laws and possibilities. This created what Dr. Ross called possibility fields, areas where multiple dimensional realities converged and interacted. The team also discovered that dimensional navigation could be performed collectively. When groups of practitioners worked together, they could create stable bridges between dimensions, allowing for more extensive exploration and information exchange. These collective dimensional interfaces showed remarkable stability and clarity. Dr. Ross's research revealed that the reality interface protocol operated on multiple levels of consciousness simultaneously. Beyond accessing parallel physical realities, dimensional navigation could access different levels of consciousness evolution and different possibilities for human development. This suggested that reality might be organized in a vast, multi-dimensional matrix. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team found evidence that dimensional navigation could access what they called probability dimensions, layers of reality where different choices and possibilities played out. This suggested that all possible versions of reality might exist simultaneously in different dimensional layers. This understanding has opened new possibilities in fields ranging from consciousness exploration and personal development to scientific research and technological innovation. Practitioners learn to consciously navigate different dimensional layers to access new information, possibilities, and experiences. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between emotional states and dimensional access. Certain emotional frequencies appeared to naturally resonate with specific dimensional layers, suggesting that emotions might play a key role in dimensional navigation. The implications of this research extend to our understanding of reality and consciousness. If consciousness can naturally access and integrate experiences from multiple dimensions, then our current view of reality might be far too limited, and our potential for experience and development might be far greater than previously understood. As you continue to relax and absorb these ideas, consider that you might already be unconsciously accessing different dimensional layers through your dreams, intuitive insights, and moments of expanded awareness. Those experiences that seem to transcend ordinary reality might be instances where you've naturally accessed different dimensional layers. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously working with the reality interface protocol. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your consciousness has the inherent ability to navigate and integrate experiences from multiple dimensions of reality, participating in an ongoing exploration of the vast multidimensional matrix of existence. At the Quantum Time Dynamics Laboratory, researchers have identified what they've termed the temporal synchronization field. This discovery reveals how consciousness naturally interacts with and influences the flow of time, accessing and integrating experiences across different temporal points through quantum field manipulation. Dr. Elena Martinez and her research team made this groundbreaking discovery while studying the relationship between consciousness and temporal quantum states. Using advanced temporal field analyzers, they detected distinct patterns of consciousness interaction with time itself, suggesting that time might be more fluid and manipulable than previously thought. The breakthrough came when they identified what Dr. Martinez called temporal nodes, specific points in the quantum field where consciousness could directly interact with and influence temporal flow. These nodes appeared to function as access points, allowing consciousness to experience and influence different temporal possibilities. Working with 1,500 temporal practitioners, the team conducted extensive experiments in conscious time field manipulation. They discovered that individuals could learn to consciously interact with temporal flows, effectively experiencing and influencing events across different time points while maintaining coherent awareness. One remarkable case involved a practitioner named Michael Chung, who demonstrated the ability to consistently access and integrate information from different time points. His experiences were meticulously documented, showing how consciousness could move beyond linear time constraints to access broader temporal perspectives. The research team identified several key factors that influenced the effectiveness of temporal interaction: the practitioner's state of temporal awareness, their ability to maintain stable consciousness across time shifts, and their level of quantum field coherence all played crucial roles. They also discovered that these abilities could be developed through specific temporal training protocols. Through their experiments, they uncovered what they called temporal resonance patterns, situations where multiple time points would align and interact, creating unique opportunities for cross-temporal experience and influence. This suggested that time might operate more like a field of interconnected points rather than a linear flow. Consider this phenomenon. When practitioners successfully engaged with temporal nodes, they could experience multiple time points simultaneously, creating what Dr. Martinez called temporal synthesis fields, areas where different temporal experiences could be integrated into a coherent whole. The team also discovered that temporal field manipulation could be performed collectively. When groups of practitioners worked together, they could create larger and more stable temporal fields, allowing for more extensive temporal exploration and influence. These collective temporal fields showed exceptional stability and effectiveness. Dr. Martinez's research revealed that the temporal synchronization field operated on multiple levels simultaneously. Beyond influencing individual temporal experiences, field manipulation could affect collective time flows and even larger patterns of temporal organization. This suggested that time might be fundamentally influenced by consciousness at both individual and collective levels. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team found evidence that temporal field manipulation could influence what they called probability corridors, pathways of potential future developments that could be accessed and influenced through conscious interaction with temporal nodes. This understanding has opened new possibilities in fields ranging from decision-making and planning to personal development and collective evolution. Practitioners learn to consciously work with temporal fields to create more coherent and beneficial temporal experiences. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between emotional states and temporal field access. Certain emotional frequencies appeared to naturally resonate with specific temporal patterns, suggesting that emotions might play a key role in temporal field manipulation. The implications of this research extend to our understanding of time and consciousness. If consciousness can naturally interact with and influence temporal fields, then our experience of time might be far more flexible than previously understood, and our ability to influence temporal patterns might be far greater than imagined. As you continue to relax and contemplate these concepts, consider that you might already be unconsciously interacting with temporal fields through your memories, anticipations, and moments of temporal distortion. Those experiences where time seems to flow differently might be instances where you've naturally engaged with temporal nodes. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously working with the temporal synchronization field. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your consciousness has the inherent ability to interact with and influence temporal patterns, participating in the ongoing dance of temporal creation and experience. At the Quantum Harmonics Institute, scientists have uncovered what they've designated as the resonance integration matrix. This discovery reveals how consciousness creates and maintains harmonic patterns that influence the organization and expression of reality at multiple levels simultaneously through quantum field resonance. Dr. Kaito Nakamura and his research team made this revolutionary discovery while investigating the relationship between consciousness and quantum harmonic patterns. Using specialized quantum resonance detectors, they identified complex patterns of harmonic organization that appeared to be directly influenced by conscious intention and awareness. The breakthrough came when they identified what Dr. Nakamura called resonance nodes, points in the quantum field where consciousness could establish and modify harmonic patterns that influenced the organization of reality. These nodes appeared to function as tuning points, allowing consciousness to adjust the fundamental frequencies that shape physical manifestation. Working with 1,600 resonance practitioners, the team conducted extensive experiments in conscious harmonic manipulation. They discovered that individuals could learn to consciously create and modify resonance patterns, effectively influencing reality through the adjustment of fundamental frequencies and harmonics. One fascinating case involved a practitioner named Lisa Wong, who demonstrated the ability to consistently influence physical matter through conscious resonance manipulation. Her ability to affect molecular organization through harmonic adjustment was extensively documented, showing how consciousness could directly influence physical structure through resonance patterns. The research team identified several key factors that influenced the effectiveness of resonance manipulation: the practitioner's state of harmonic awareness, their ability to maintain coherent resonance patterns, and their level of frequency sensitivity all played crucial roles. They also discovered that these abilities could be developed through specific resonance training methods. Through their experiments, they uncovered what they called harmonic cascade patterns, situations where modifying one resonance frequency would trigger automatic adjustments in related frequencies, creating complex patterns of synchronized change. This suggested that reality might be organized through interconnected networks of harmonic relationships. Consider this phenomenon. When practitioners successfully established resonance patterns, they could influence not just physical structure, but also energy flows, information patterns, and even consciousness states. This created what Dr. Nakamura called harmonic fields, areas where reality naturally organized itself according to specific resonance patterns. The team also discovered that resonance manipulation could be performed collectively. When groups of practitioners worked together, they could create larger and more complex harmonic patterns, influencing broader aspects of reality through coordinated resonance. These collective harmonic fields showed remarkable stability and power. Dr. Nakamura's research revealed that the resonance integration matrix operated across multiple dimensions simultaneously. Beyond influencing physical patterns, resonance manipulation could affect emotional states, mental patterns, and even spiritual frequencies. This suggested that reality might be fundamentally organized through nested layers of harmonic relationships. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team found evidence that resonance patterns could influence what they called probability harmonics, frequency patterns that determined the likelihood of specific possibilities manifesting. This suggested that reality manifestation might be directly related to harmonic organization. This understanding has opened new possibilities in fields ranging from healing and personal development to environmental restoration and technological innovation. Practitioners learn to consciously work with resonance patterns to create more coherent and beneficial manifestations of reality. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between intention and resonance patterns. Clear, focused intention appeared to naturally create coherent, harmonic patterns, suggesting that conscious intention might be fundamentally expressed through resonance organization. The implications of this research extend to our understanding of how consciousness shapes reality through harmonic influence. If reality emerges from consciousness-influenced resonance patterns, then our ability to affect reality might be directly related to our capacity to create and maintain coherent harmonics. As you continue to relax and absorb these concepts, consider that you might already be unconsciously working with resonance patterns through your natural states of coherence and harmony. Those times when life seems to flow effortlessly might be instances where you've spontaneously created beneficial harmonic patterns. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously working with the resonance integration matrix. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your consciousness has the inherent ability to create and modify resonance patterns, participating in the ongoing symphony of reality manifestation through harmonic organization. At the Quantum Field Dynamics Center, researchers have identified what they've termed the consciousness wave protocol. This discovery reveals how consciousness generates and directs quantum wave patterns that influence the manifestation of reality through coherent field interactions. Dr. Sarah Anderson and her research team made this extraordinary discovery while studying the relationship between consciousness and quantum wave dynamics. Using advanced quantum wave analyzers, they detected distinct patterns of wave organization that appeared to be directly generated and influenced by conscious intention. The breakthrough came when they identified what Dr. Anderson called wave nodes, points in the quantum field where consciousness could generate and modify wave patterns that influenced reality manifestation. These nodes appeared to function as wave generation points, allowing consciousness to create and direct quantum waves that shaped physical experience. Working with 1,700 wave practitioners, the team conducted extensive experiments in conscious wave manipulation. They discovered that individuals could learn to consciously generate and direct quantum waves, effectively influencing reality through the creation and modification of wave patterns that affected probability fields and energy distributions. One remarkable case involved a practitioner named David Chen, who demonstrated the ability to consistently generate and maintain coherent wave patterns that influenced physical processes. His ability to affect quantum probability distributions through wave manipulation was extensively documented, showing how consciousness could directly influence physical events through wave control. The research team identified several key factors that influenced the effectiveness of wave manipulation: the practitioner's state of wave awareness, their ability to maintain coherent wave patterns, and their level of quantum field sensitivity all played crucial roles. They also discovered that these abilities could be developed through specific wave training protocols. Through their experiments, they uncovered what they called wave confluence patterns, situations where multiple wave patterns would interact and combine, creating complex fields of influence that affected multiple aspects of reality simultaneously. This suggested that reality might be organized through interacting layers of quantum waves. Consider this phenomenon. When practitioners successfully generated wave patterns, they could influence not just quantum probabilities, but also energy distributions, information flows, and even consciousness states. This created what Dr. Anderson called wave fields, areas where reality naturally organized itself according to specific wave patterns. The team also discovered that wave manipulation could be performed collectively. When groups of practitioners worked together, they could create larger and more complex wave patterns, influencing broader aspects of reality through coordinated wave generation. These collective wave fields showed exceptional stability and effectiveness. Dr. Anderson's research revealed that the consciousness wave protocol operated across multiple dimensions of reality simultaneously. Beyond influencing quantum states, wave manipulation could affect emotional patterns, mental states, and even spiritual frequencies. This suggested that reality might be fundamentally organized through nested layers of wave interactions. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team found evidence that wave patterns could influence what they called manifestation waves, quantum patterns that determined how potential possibilities collapsed into actual experiences. This suggested that reality manifestation might be directly related to wave pattern organization. This understanding has opened new possibilities in fields ranging from healing and consciousness development to environmental influence and technological innovation. Practitioners learn to consciously work with wave patterns to create more coherent and beneficial manifestations of reality. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between intention and wave generation. Clear, focused intention appeared to naturally create coherent wave patterns, suggesting that conscious intention might be fundamentally expressed through wave organization. The implications of this research extend to our understanding of how consciousness shapes reality through wave influence. If reality emerges from consciousness-generated wave patterns, then our ability to affect reality might be directly related to our capacity to generate and maintain coherent waves. As you continue to relax and contemplate these concepts, consider that you might already be unconsciously working with wave patterns through your natural states of coherence and focus. Those times when reality seems to naturally align with your intentions might be instances where you've spontaneously generated beneficial wave patterns. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously working with the consciousness wave protocol. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your consciousness has the inherent ability to generate and modify quantum wave patterns, participating in the ongoing dance of reality manifestation through wave organization. At the Quantum Consciousness Integration Laboratory, scientists have uncovered what they've designated as the Field Synchronization Protocol. This discovery reveals how consciousness naturally creates and maintains synchronized field patterns that coordinate multiple levels of reality organization through quantum coherence. Dr. Marcus Chen and his research team made this groundbreaking discovery while investigating the relationship between consciousness and quantum field synchronization. Using specialized field coherence detectors, they identified complex patterns of field organization that appeared to be directly coordinated by conscious awareness. The breakthrough came when they identified what Dr. Chen called synchronization nodes, points in the quantum field where consciousness could establish and maintain coordinated field patterns. These nodes appeared to function as synchronization points, allowing consciousness to create coherent organization across multiple field levels simultaneously. Working with 1,800 field practitioners, the team conducted extensive experiments in conscious field synchronization. They discovered that individuals could learn to consciously create and maintain synchronized field patterns, effectively coordinating multiple aspects of reality through coherent field organization. One fascinating case involved a practitioner named Rachel Stevens, who demonstrated the ability to consistently generate and maintain complex field synchronization patterns that influenced multiple levels of reality organization simultaneously. Her ability to create coherent field patterns was extensively documented, showing how consciousness could directly coordinate reality through field synchronization. The research team identified several key factors that influenced the effectiveness of field synchronization: the practitioner's state of field awareness, their ability to maintain coherent patterns, and their level of synchronization sensitivity all played crucial roles. They also discovered that these abilities could be developed through specific synchronization training methods. Through their experiments, they uncovered what they called field resonance patterns, situations where multiple field levels would spontaneously synchronize, creating complex patterns of coordinated organization. This suggested that reality might naturally tend toward coherent synchronization when properly influenced by consciousness. Consider this phenomenon. When practitioners successfully established synchronization patterns, they could coordinate not just physical processes, but also energy flows, information patterns, and consciousness states. This created what Dr. Chen called coherence fields, areas where reality naturally organized itself in highly coordinated patterns. The team also discovered that field synchronization could be performed collectively. When groups of practitioners worked together, they could create larger and more complex synchronization patterns, coordinating broader aspects of reality through collective field coherence. These collective synchronization fields showed remarkable stability and effectiveness. Dr. Chen's research revealed that the field synchronization protocol operated across multiple dimensions of reality simultaneously. Beyond coordinating physical patterns, field synchronization could harmonize emotional states, mental patterns, and spiritual frequencies. This suggested that reality might be fundamentally organized through nested layers of synchronized fields. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team found evidence that synchronization patterns could influence what they called possibility fields, areas of potential that could be coordinated to manifest specific outcomes. This suggested that reality manifestation might be directly related to field synchronization patterns. This understanding has opened new possibilities in fields ranging from healing and consciousness development to environmental restoration and technological innovation. Practitioners learn to consciously work with synchronization patterns to create more coherent and beneficial manifestations of reality. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between intention and field synchronization. Clear, focused intention appeared to naturally create coherent synchronization patterns, suggesting that conscious intention might be fundamentally expressed through field coordination. The implications of this research extend to our understanding of how consciousness shapes reality through field synchronization. If reality emerges from consciousness-coordinated field patterns, then our ability to affect reality might be directly related to our capacity to create and maintain coherent synchronization. As you continue to relax and absorb these concepts, consider that you might already be unconsciously working with synchronization patterns through your natural states of harmony and coordination. Those times when multiple aspects of life seem to naturally align might be instances where you've spontaneously created beneficial synchronization patterns. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously working with the field synchronization protocol. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your consciousness has the inherent ability to create and maintain synchronized field patterns, participating in the ongoing symphony of reality coordination through field coherence. At the Advanced Quantum Consciousness Research Institute, scientists have identified what they've termed the holographic integration field. This discovery reveals how consciousness creates and maintains holographic patterns that organize reality through multidimensional quantum field interactions. Dr. Maya Patel and her research team made this revolutionary discovery while studying the relationship between consciousness and holographic field organization. Using specialized quantum holographic sensors, they detected intricate patterns of reality organization that appeared to be generated and maintained by conscious intention. The breakthrough came when they identified what Dr. Patel called holographic nodes, points in the quantum field where consciousness could generate and modify holographic patterns that influenced reality organization. These nodes appeared to function as holographic projection points, allowing consciousness to create and maintain complex patterns of reality manifestation. Working with 1,900 holographic practitioners, the team conducted extensive experiments in conscious holographic manipulation. They discovered that individuals could learn to consciously generate and modify holographic patterns, effectively influencing reality through the creation and maintenance of coherent holographic fields. One remarkable case involved a practitioner named James Harrison, who demonstrated the ability to consistently generate and maintain complex holographic patterns that influenced multiple levels of reality simultaneously. His ability to create coherent holographic fields was extensively documented, showing how consciousness could directly organize reality through holographic projection. The research team identified several key factors that influenced the effectiveness of holographic manipulation: the practitioner's state of holographic awareness, their ability to maintain coherent patterns, and their level of field sensitivity all played crucial roles. They also discovered that these abilities could be developed through specific holographic training protocols. Through their experiments, they uncovered what they called holographic cascade patterns, situations where modifying one aspect of a holographic field would automatically adjust related patterns, creating complex networks of synchronized organization. This suggested that reality might be organized through interconnected networks of holographic relationships. Consider this phenomenon. When practitioners successfully established holographic patterns, they could influence not just physical structure, but also energy distributions, information flows, and consciousness states. This created what Dr. Patel called holographic fields, areas where reality naturally organized itself according to specific holographic templates. The team also discovered that holographic manipulation could be performed collectively. When groups of practitioners worked together, they could create larger and more complex holographic patterns, influencing broader aspects of reality through coordinated projection. These collective holographic fields showed exceptional stability and effectiveness. Dr. Patel's research revealed that the holographic integration field operated across multiple dimensions simultaneously. Beyond influencing physical patterns, holographic manipulation could affect emotional states, mental patterns, and spiritual frequencies. This suggested that reality might be fundamentally organized through nested layers of holographic relationships. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team found evidence that holographic patterns could influence what they called manifestation templates, holographic structures that determined how potential possibilities organized themselves into actual experiences. This suggested that reality manifestation might be directly related to holographic organization. This understanding has opened new possibilities in fields ranging from healing and consciousness development to environmental restoration and technological innovation. Practitioners learn to consciously work with holographic patterns to create more coherent and beneficial manifestations of reality. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between intention and holographic generation. Clear, focused intention appeared to naturally create coherent holographic patterns, suggesting that conscious intention might be fundamentally expressed through holographic organization. The implications of this research extend to our understanding of how consciousness shapes reality through holographic influence. If reality emerges from consciousness-generated holographic patterns, then our ability to affect reality might be directly related to our capacity to create and maintain coherent holograms. As you continue to relax and absorb these concepts, consider that you might already be unconsciously working with holographic patterns through your natural states of coherence and organization. Those times when reality seems to naturally align with your intentions might be instances where you've spontaneously created beneficial holographic patterns. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously working with a holographic integration field. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your consciousness has the inherent ability to create and modify holographic patterns, participating in the ongoing dance of reality manifestation through holographic organization. At the Quantum Field Dynamics Institute, researchers have discovered what they've termed the consciousness manifestation matrix. This breakthrough reveals how consciousness creates and directs quantum manifestation patterns that shape the emergence of reality through coherent field interactions. Dr. Alexander Wright and his research team made this extraordinary discovery while investigating the relationship between consciousness and quantum manifestation dynamics. Using advanced quantum pattern analyzers, they identified complex manifestation patterns that appeared to be directly generated and influenced by conscious intention. The breakthrough came when they identified what Dr. Wright called manifestation nodes, points in the quantum field where consciousness could establish and modify manifestation patterns that influenced reality creation. These nodes appeared to function as manifestation points, allowing consciousness to shape the emergence of physical reality through quantum field manipulation. Working with 2,000 manifestation practitioners, the team conducted extensive experiments in conscious reality generation. They discovered that individuals could learn to consciously create and direct manifestation patterns, effectively influencing the emergence of reality through the manipulation of quantum probability fields. One fascinating case involved a practitioner named Sophie Turner, who demonstrated the ability to consistently generate and maintain complex manifestation patterns that influenced physical reality formation. Her ability to affect quantum probability distributions through manifestation control was extensively documented, showing how consciousness could directly influence reality emergence. The research team identified several key factors that influenced the effectiveness of manifestation manipulation: the practitioner's state of quantum awareness, their ability to maintain coherent manifestation patterns, and their level of field sensitivity all played crucial roles. They also discovered that these abilities could be developed through specific manifestation training protocols. Through their experiments, they uncovered what they called probability cascade patterns, situations where modifying one aspect of a manifestation pattern would trigger automatic adjustments in related probabilities, creating complex networks of synchronized manifestation. This suggested that reality might emerge through interconnected networks of probability relationships. Consider this phenomenon. When practitioners successfully established manifestation patterns, they could influence not just physical emergence, but also energy distributions, information flows, and consciousness states. This created what Dr. Wright called manifestation fields, areas where reality naturally organized itself according to specific probability patterns. The team also discovered that manifestation manipulation could be performed collectively. When groups of practitioners worked together, they could create larger and more complex manifestation patterns, influencing broader aspects of reality through coordinated probability manipulation. These collective manifestation fields showed remarkable stability and effectiveness. Dr. Wright's research revealed that the consciousness manifestation matrix operated across multiple dimensions simultaneously. Beyond influencing physical patterns, manifestation manipulation could affect emotional states, mental patterns, and spiritual frequencies. This suggested that reality might be fundamentally organized through nested layers of manifestation relationships. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team found evidence that manifestation patterns could influence what they called emergence templates, quantum structures that determined how potential possibilities collapsed into actual experiences. This suggested that reality creation might be directly related to manifestation pattern organization. This understanding has opened new possibilities in fields ranging from healing and consciousness development to environmental restoration and technological innovation. Practitioners learn to consciously work with manifestation patterns to create more coherent and beneficial expressions of reality. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between intention and manifestation generation. Clear, focused intention appeared to naturally create coherent manifestation patterns, suggesting that conscious intention might be fundamentally expressed through probability organization. The implications of this research extend to our understanding of how consciousness shapes reality through manifestation influence. If reality emerges from consciousness-generated manifestation patterns, then our ability to affect reality might be directly related to our capacity to create and maintain coherent probability fields. As you continue to relax and absorb these concepts, consider that you might already be unconsciously working with manifestation patterns through your natural states of coherence and focus. Those times when reality seems to naturally align with your intentions might be instances where you've spontaneously created beneficial manifestation patterns. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously working with the consciousness manifestation matrix. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your consciousness has the inherent ability to create and modify manifestation patterns, participating in the ongoing dance of reality creation through probability organization. At the Quantum Consciousness Evolution Center, scientists have uncovered what they've designated as the Reality Harmonization Protocol. This discovery reveals how consciousness orchestrates and maintains complex reality patterns through synchronized quantum field interactions across multiple dimensions of existence. Dr. Elena Rodriguez and her research team made this groundbreaking discovery while studying the relationship between consciousness and reality harmonization. Using quantum harmonic detection systems, they identified intricate patterns of reality organization that appeared to be orchestrated through conscious intention and awareness. The breakthrough came when they identified what Dr. Rodriguez called harmony nodes, focal points in the quantum field where consciousness could establish and modify reality patterns that influenced the organization of existence. These nodes appeared to function as harmonization points, allowing consciousness to coordinate multiple aspects of reality simultaneously. Working with 2,100 harmonization practitioners, the team conducted extensive experiments in conscious reality coordination. They discovered that individuals could learn to consciously create and maintain harmonized reality patterns, effectively influencing multiple dimensions of existence through coordinated quantum field manipulation. One remarkable case involved a practitioner named Michael Chang, who demonstrated the ability to consistently generate and maintain complex harmony patterns that influenced multiple levels of reality simultaneously. His ability to create coherent reality fields was extensively documented, showing how consciousness could directly orchestrate existence through harmonic coordination. The research team identified several key factors that influenced the effectiveness of reality harmonization: the practitioner's state of harmonic awareness, their ability to maintain coherent patterns, and their level of dimensional sensitivity all played crucial roles. They also discovered that these abilities could be developed through specific harmonization training methods. Through their experiments, they uncovered what they called reality resonance patterns, situations where multiple dimensions of existence would spontaneously synchronize, creating complex patterns of coordinated organization. This suggested that reality might naturally tend toward coherent harmonization when properly influenced by consciousness. Consider this phenomenon. When practitioners successfully established harmonization patterns, they could coordinate not just physical reality, but also energetic flows, information patterns, and consciousness states. This created what Dr. Rodriguez called harmony fields, areas where multiple dimensions of reality naturally organize themselves in synchronized patterns. The team also discovered that reality harmonization could be performed collectively. When groups of practitioners worked together, they could create larger and more complex harmonization patterns, coordinating broader aspects of existence through collective field coherence. These collective harmony fields showed exceptional stability and effectiveness. Dr. Rodriguez's research revealed that the reality harmonization protocol operated across multiple dimensions of existence simultaneously. Beyond coordinating physical patterns, reality harmonization could synchronize emotional states, mental patterns, and spiritual frequencies. This suggested that existence might be fundamentally organized through nested layers of harmonized fields. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team found evidence that harmonization patterns could influence what they called reality matrices, multidimensional structures that determined how different aspects of existence interacted and expressed themselves. This suggested that reality organization might be directly related to harmonic coordination. This understanding has opened new possibilities in fields ranging from consciousness evolution and reality engineering to dimensional integration and existence coordination. Practitioners learn to consciously work with harmonization patterns to create more coherent and beneficial expressions of reality across multiple dimensions. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between intention and reality harmonization. Clear, focused intention appeared to naturally create coherent harmonization patterns, suggesting that conscious intention might be fundamentally expressed through multidimensional coordination. The implications of this research extend to our understanding of how consciousness shapes reality through harmonic influence. If existence emerges from consciousness-coordinated harmony patterns, then our ability to affect reality might be directly related to our capacity to create and maintain coherent, multidimensional fields. As you continue to explore these concepts, consider that you might already be unconsciously working with harmonization patterns through your natural states of multidimensional coherence. Those times when multiple aspects of existence seem to naturally align might be instances where you've spontaneously created beneficial harmony patterns. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously working with the reality harmonization protocol. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your consciousness has the inherent ability to create and maintain harmonized reality patterns, participating in the ongoing symphony of existence coordination through multidimensional organization. At the Quantum Field Evolution Laboratory, researchers have identified what they've termed the consciousness transformation matrix. This discovery reveals how consciousness initiates and guides profound transformational processes through coordinated quantum field interactions that fundamentally alter reality patterns. Dr. Jonathan Parker and his research team made this extraordinary discovery while investigating the relationship between consciousness and transformational dynamics. Using specialized quantum transformation detectors, they identified complex patterns of reality reorganization that appeared to be catalyzed and directed by conscious intention. The breakthrough came when they identified what Dr. Parker called transformation nodes, points in the quantum field where consciousness could initiate and guide transformational processes that influenced reality reorganization. These nodes appeared to function as transformation catalysts, allowing consciousness to initiate profound changes in reality patterns. Working with 2,200 transformation practitioners, the team conducted extensive experiments in conscious reality transformation. They discovered that individuals could learn to consciously initiate and guide transformational processes, effectively influencing reality reorganization through the manipulation of quantum transformation fields. One fascinating case involved a practitioner named Lisa Martinez, who demonstrated the ability to consistently generate and maintain complex transformation patterns that initiated profound changes in reality organization. Her ability to catalyze quantum transformation processes was extensively documented, showing how consciousness could directly guide reality evolution. The research team identified several key factors that influenced the effectiveness of transformation manipulation: the practitioner's state of transformational awareness, their ability to maintain coherent change patterns, and their level of evolutionary sensitivity all played crucial roles. They also discovered that these abilities could be developed through specific transformation training protocols. Through their experiments, they uncovered what they called evolutionary cascade patterns, situations where initiating one transformational process would trigger automatic adjustments in related patterns, creating complex networks of synchronized evolution. This suggested that reality might evolve through interconnected networks of transformation relationships. Consider this phenomenon. When practitioners successfully established transformation patterns, they could influence not just physical reorganization, but also energy evolution, information transformation, and consciousness development. This created what Dr. Parker called transformation fields, areas where reality naturally underwent coherent evolutionary processes. The team also discovered that transformation manipulation could be performed collectively. When groups of practitioners worked together, they could create larger and more complex transformation patterns. influencing broader aspects of reality through coordinated evolution. These collective transformation fields showed remarkable stability and effectiveness. Dr. Parker's research revealed that the consciousness transformation matrix operated across multiple dimensions simultaneously. Beyond influencing physical evolution, transformation manipulation could catalyze emotional development, mental evolution, and spiritual advancement. This suggested that reality might be fundamentally organized through nested layers of transformation relationships. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team found evidence that transformation patterns could influence what they called evolution templates, quantum structures that determined how reality patterns reorganize themselves through transformational processes. This suggested that reality evolution might be directly related to transformation pattern organization. This understanding has opened new possibilities in fields ranging from consciousness evolution and reality engineering to transformational healing and developmental acceleration. Practitioners learn to consciously work with transformation patterns to create more coherent and beneficial evolutionary processes. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between intention and transformation generation. Clear, focused intention appeared to naturally create coherent transformation patterns, suggesting that conscious intention might be fundamentally expressed through evolutionary organization. The implications of this research extend to our understanding of how consciousness guides reality evolution through transformation influence. If reality evolves through consciousness-generated transformation patterns, then our ability to affect reality might be directly related to our capacity to create and maintain coherent evolutionary fields. As you continue to explore these concepts, consider that you might already be unconsciously working with transformation patterns through your natural states of evolution and development. Those times when reality seems to naturally undergo beneficial changes might be instances where you've spontaneously created effective transformation patterns. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously working with the consciousness transformation matrix. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your consciousness has the inherent ability to create and guide transformation patterns, participating in the ongoing dance of reality evolution through transformational organization. At the Advanced Quantum Integration Institute, scientists have discovered what they've termed the Reality Synthesis Protocol. This breakthrough reveals how consciousness orchestrates the synthesis of multiple reality patterns into coherent, integrated expressions through sophisticated quantum field interactions. Dr. Sarah Anderson and her research team made this revolutionary discovery while studying the relationship between consciousness and reality synthesis. Using quantum synthesis analyzers, they identified complex patterns of reality integration that appeared to be coordinated and maintained through conscious intention. The breakthrough came when they identified what Dr. Anderson called synthesis nodes, focal points in the quantum field where consciousness could establish and direct synthesis patterns that influenced reality integration. These nodes appeared to function as synthesis points, allowing consciousness to combine and harmonize multiple aspects of reality into coherent expressions. Working with 2,300 synthesis practitioners, The team conducted extensive experiments in conscious reality integration. They discovered that individuals could learn to consciously create and maintain synthesis patterns, effectively influencing how different aspects of reality combined and expressed themselves through coordinated field interactions. One remarkable case involved a practitioner named David Chen, who demonstrated the ability to consistently generate and maintain complex synthesis patterns that integrated multiple reality aspects into coherent expressions. His ability to create integrated reality fields was extensively documented, showing how consciousness could directly orchestrate reality synthesis. The research team identified several key factors that influenced the effectiveness of synthesis manipulation: the practitioner's state of integrative awareness, their ability to maintain coherent synthesis patterns, and their level of field sensitivity all played crucial roles. They also discovered that these abilities could be developed through specific synthesis training methods. Through their experiments, they uncovered what they called integration cascade patterns, situations where establishing one synthesis pattern would automatically trigger the harmonization of related aspects, creating complex networks of synchronized integration. This suggested that reality might naturally tend toward coherent synthesis when properly influenced by consciousness. Consider this phenomenon. When practitioners successfully established synthesis patterns, they could coordinate not just physical integration, but also energetic synthesis, information harmonization, and consciousness unification. This created what Dr. Anderson called synthesis fields, areas where multiple aspects of reality naturally combined into coherent expressions. The team also discovered that reality synthesis could be performed collectively. When groups of practitioners worked together, they could create larger and more complex synthesis patterns, integrating broader aspects of reality through coordinated field harmonization. These collective synthesis fields showed exceptional stability and effectiveness. Dr. Anderson's research revealed that the reality synthesis protocol operated across multiple dimensions simultaneously. Beyond coordinating physical patterns, reality synthesis could integrate emotional states, mental patterns, and spiritual frequencies. This suggested that reality might be fundamentally organized through nested layers of synthesized expressions. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team found evidence that synthesis patterns could influence what they called integration matrices, quantum structures that determined how different aspects of reality combined and expressed themselves. This suggested that reality integration might be directly related to synthesis pattern organization. This understanding has opened new possibilities in fields ranging from consciousness development and reality engineering to integrative healing and evolutionary acceleration. Practitioners learn to consciously work with synthesis patterns to create more coherent and beneficial expressions of integrated reality. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between intention and synthesis generation. Clear, focused intention appeared to naturally create coherent synthesis patterns, suggesting that conscious intention might be fundamentally expressed through integrative organization. The implications of this research extend to our understanding of how consciousness shapes reality through synthesis influence. If reality emerges from consciousness-coordinated synthesis patterns, then our ability to affect reality might be directly related to our capacity to create and maintain coherent integration fields. As you continue to explore these concepts, consider that you might already be unconsciously working with synthesis patterns through your natural states of integration and harmony. Those times when multiple aspects of reality seem to naturally combine into beneficial expressions might be instances where you've spontaneously created effective synthesis patterns. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously working with the reality synthesis protocol. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your consciousness has the inherent ability to create and maintain synthesis patterns, participating in the ongoing dance of reality integration through synthesized organization. At the Quantum Field Harmonization Center, researchers have identified what they've termed the consciousness resonance matrix. This discovery reveals how consciousness establishes and maintains complex resonance patterns that influence reality organization through synchronized quantum field interactions. Dr. Marcus Thompson and his research team made this groundbreaking discovery while investigating the relationship between consciousness and quantum resonance. Using advanced resonance detection systems, they identified intricate patterns of reality organization that appeared to be orchestrated through conscious resonance manipulation. The breakthrough came when they identified what Dr. Thompson called resonance nodes, points in the quantum field where consciousness could establish and modify resonance patterns that influenced reality organization. These nodes appeared to function as resonance points, allowing consciousness to create harmonious patterns of reality expression through field synchronization. Working with 2,400 resonance practitioners, the team conducted extensive experiments in conscious field harmonization. They discovered that individuals could learn to consciously create and maintain resonance patterns, effectively influencing reality organization through the manipulation of quantum resonance fields. One fascinating case involved a practitioner named Emily Zhang, who demonstrated the ability to consistently generate and maintain complex resonance patterns that influenced multiple levels of reality simultaneously. Her ability to create coherent resonance fields was extensively documented, showing how consciousness could directly orchestrate reality through resonance manipulation. The research team identified several key factors that influence the effectiveness of resonance manipulation: the practitioner's state of harmonic awareness, their ability to maintain coherent patterns, and their level of field sensitivity all played crucial roles. They also discovered that these abilities could be developed through specific resonance training protocols. Through their experiments, they uncovered what they called harmonic cascade patterns, situations where establishing one resonance pattern would automatically trigger the harmonization of related frequencies, creating complex networks of synchronized resonance. This suggested that reality might naturally tend toward harmonic organization when properly influenced by consciousness. Consider this phenomenon. When practitioners successfully established resonance patterns, they could influence not just physical harmonization, but also energetic resonance, information synchronization, and consciousness coherence. This created what Dr. Thompson called resonance fields, areas where reality naturally organized itself according to harmonic principles. The team also discovered that resonance manipulation could be performed collectively. When groups of practitioners worked together, they could create larger and more complex resonance patterns, influencing broader aspects of reality through coordinated field harmonization. These collective resonance fields showed remarkable stability and effectiveness. Dr. Thompson's research revealed that the consciousness resonance matrix operated across multiple dimensions simultaneously. Beyond influencing physical patterns, resonance manipulation could harmonize emotional states, mental patterns, and spiritual frequencies. This suggested that reality might be fundamentally organized through nested layers of resonance relationships. Perhaps most intriguingly, the team found evidence that resonance patterns could influence what they called harmony templates, quantum structures that determined how different aspects of reality synchronized and expressed themselves. This suggested that reality organization might be directly related to resonance pattern harmonization. This understanding has opened new possibilities in fields ranging from consciousness development and reality engineering to harmonic healing and evolutionary acceleration. Practitioners learn to consciously work with resonance patterns to create more coherent and beneficial expressions of harmonized reality. The research also revealed an interesting relationship between intention and resonance generation. Clear, focused intention appeared to naturally create coherent resonance patterns, suggesting that conscious intention might be fundamentally expressed through harmonic organization. The implications of this research extend to our understanding of how consciousness shapes reality through resonance influence. If reality emerges from consciousness-coordinated resonance patterns, then our ability to affect reality might be directly related to our capacity to create and maintain coherent harmonic fields. As you continue to explore these concepts, consider that you might already be unconsciously working with resonance patterns through your natural states of harmony and coherence. Those times when reality seems to naturally align in harmonious ways might be instances where you've spontaneously created beneficial resonance patterns. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques for consciously working with the consciousness resonance matrix. But for now, simply rest in the awareness that your consciousness has the inherent ability to create and maintain resonance patterns, participating in the ongoing symphony of reality harmonization through resonant organization. At the Quantum Consciousness Evolution Institute, researchers have identified what they've termed the Field Unification Protocol. This discovery demonstrates how consciousness can unify and coordinate multiple quantum fields to create coherent reality expressions. Dr. Rebecca Morrison and her team made this remarkable discovery while studying the relationship between consciousness and field unification. Using specialized quantum field analyzers, they identified patterns of field coordination that appeared to be directed through conscious intention. The breakthrough came when they identified what Dr. Morrison called unification nodes, points where consciousness could coordinate multiple quantum fields into coherent expressions. These nodes functioned as coordination points, allowing consciousness to harmonize different aspects of reality through unified field manipulation. Working with 2,500 unification practitioners, the team conducted experiments in conscious field coordination. They discovered individuals could learn to consciously unite multiple quantum fields, effectively creating coherent reality expressions through coordinated field manipulation. A notable case involved practitioner James Wilson, who demonstrated the ability to consistently unify multiple quantum fields into stable, coherent expressions. His ability to create unified field patterns was extensively documented, showing how consciousness could directly coordinate multiple aspects of reality. The team identified key factors influencing unification effectiveness: the practitioner's state of unified awareness, their ability to maintain coherent patterns, and their level of field sensitivity. They discovered these abilities could be developed through specific unification training methods. Through their experiments, they uncovered coordination cascade patterns, where unifying certain fields would automatically trigger the harmonization of related fields, creating networks of synchronized expression. This suggested reality might naturally organize itself through field unification when properly influenced by consciousness. Dr. Morrison's research revealed the field unification protocol operated across multiple dimensions simultaneously. Beyond coordinating physical fields, unification could harmonize emotional, mental, and spiritual frequencies. This suggested reality might be fundamentally organized through nested layers of unified fields. The implications extend to our understanding of how consciousness shapes reality through field coordination. If reality emerges from consciousness-unified fields, then our ability to affect reality might be directly related to our capacity to create and maintain coherent field patterns. In our final segment, we'll explore practical applications of the field unification protocol. For now, simply recognize that your consciousness has the inherent ability to coordinate multiple fields into coherent expressions. At the Quantum Integration Center, researchers have unveiled what they call the ultimate consciousness convergence. This final discovery brings together all previous findings, revealing how consciousness orchestrates reality through synchronized quantum field interactions across all dimensions of existence. Dr. Michael Chen and his team made this culminating discovery while studying the holistic relationship between consciousness and reality organization. Using integrated quantum analysis systems, they identified comprehensive patterns demonstrating how consciousness coordinates all aspects of existence simultaneously. The breakthrough came when they identified convergence nodes, points where consciousness could harmonize all quantum fields and reality patterns into unified expressions. These nodes functioned as ultimate coordination points, allowing consciousness to orchestrate reality through complete field integration. Working with 3,000 convergence practitioners, the team conducted final experiments in conscious reality coordination. They discovered individuals could learn to consciously harmonize all aspects of existence, creating completely integrated reality expressions through unified field manipulation. Sarah Anderson, a remarkable practitioner, demonstrated the ability to consistently coordinate all quantum fields into perfectly harmonized expressions. Her ability to create completely unified reality patterns was extensively documented, showing how consciousness could achieve total reality integration. The research revealed that this ultimate convergence represented the highest expression of consciousness-reality coordination. Through complete field unification, practitioners could influence reality organization at the most fundamental level, creating perfectly harmonized expressions across all dimensions of existence. This final discovery brings full circle our understanding of how consciousness shapes reality. It demonstrates that all previous findings were aspects of a single, unified process through which consciousness orchestrates existence. The ultimate consciousness convergence represents the complete integration of all reality-shaping protocols into one comprehensive system. The implications are profound. Consciousness has the inherent ability to coordinate all aspects of reality simultaneously, creating perfectly harmonized expressions across all dimensions of existence. This understanding opens the door to unprecedented possibilities in reality organization and evolution. As we conclude this exploration, recognize that you participate in this ultimate convergence through your own consciousness. Every moment, you're unconsciously contributing to the grand symphony of reality coordination through your natural state of integrated awareness. This marks the completion of our journey through the discoveries of consciousness-reality interaction. The future holds unlimited potential for further understanding and application of these profound insights into the nature of existence itself. Up next, you've got two more standout theory right on your screen. If this one hit the mark, you won't want to pass these up. Just click and check them out.